Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here. It is Tuesday, and we have defeated Dwayne Casey and the Detroit Pistons last night. No, I did not jinx it yesterday by predicting that this game would be easier than y'all thought. And I was right. Did you see a different Detroit team than we saw last year? Yes, you did. No, Kelly Olynyk was huge. No, Corey Joseph was huge. No, Cade Cunningham was huge. They looked rudderless and having a little bit of trouble, Detroit, with different things. Now, it really is the Dalano Banton show last night. The things that Dalano did last night were very, very interesting. And in fact, I want to say something about two things right now. Dalano Banton and the way he played last night, and Scotty Barnes and the way he played last night. Now, hear me out real quick, Raptor fan. I know a lot of you are coming down on Scotty Barnes right now in his second year as an NBA pro for not looking exactly like how he looked last year. I've explained till I'm blue in the face, literally, that Scotty Barnes' development is not, it's not linear. It doesn't just go, it's like whoop, 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 up and down. And that's the way most NBA players' careers are. Now, I want to put something across right now. What if Scotty Barnes had played at 905 last year? Think about this. What if he had played at 905 last year and he was depended on to be the man in man situations with the team where he had to take over and get practice, taking over the game and winning the game as the man, because that is who he was at that level, the man. There's a certain thing that Dalano Banton's been doing this whole past year, which is being the man in 905, being the man at Americup down in South America, being the man at Summer League. I think the practice of being the man and being the guy who takes them home and carries the team and does that kind of stuff it was shown that he has gotten practice over the last year doing this in his 1 year of development as an NBA player. And that Dalano stepping up and doing this last night is because of the work and practice he's put in at the G League and the Summer League at Americup. And it made me wonder, what if we had played Scotty at that lower level a bit last year and just given him a taste of running things down at 905? Would he be able to do what Delano's done in just 1 year of playing in the league also? And that maybe we may have made a detriment to Scotty just because, he's the first pick. He starts every single NBA game he's played already. That he should have went to 905 just to be the man down there, so that this may be easier for him to do it now at the NBA level here now. And that it's not really fair of us to put that responsibility on him right now because he has not practiced being the man at any level ever. He didn't do it at Florida State. He didn't do it last year. So this is why I think people have unfair expectations for what Scotty's doing out there. Now, he's a whole other level of player than Dalano. Don't get me wrong. They're not at the same level, and he will surpass Dalano over time. It's just that Dalano got such a concentrated full year of development this past year. Amazing. He may be the textbook great example for years to come on how to accelerate a good player's growth quickly by doing what we did with him this year. We may just look at that case and like, look what we did with Dalano in the first year he played. He played every single thing he could possibly play, and he played all summer, and he was in the position of being the man and running the team and carrying the water and being the guy who was depended on to make sure that we got to the win. This was so many times last year at 905. Seriously, there were so many games last year where him and Justin Champagnie and David Johnson were fighting to get wins at 905, and Dalano was the man. He was the one who carried water. He was the one who passed it around. He was the one who directed us to a win. So I want to just use that thought exercise right now. Now, I don't want anybody dissing Scotty today. Seriously, there's a whole bunch of dumbass people out there talking shit about Scotty right now, and y'all are fucking out of pocket, and you're stupid. You're very, very dumb. You do not understand. Scotty had a very good game last night. You may not think he had a very good game. You may look at his stats and say, what? Scotty only scored 8 points. Well, he got 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. and he shot 4 for 9. It's not that he shot absolutely horrible. It's not that he did anything that bad. It's just he played normal, and there was nothing wrong with the way he played. He was a glue player. He did all kinds of intangibles all around the court and helped all kinds of different ways. It's not like he didn't do anything. It's not like he did what because he scored 8 points. Y'all are upset. Listen, look at Anunoby's career. His first year, he came out as a rookie and started, okay? And he averaged around 10, 12 points. He averaged a pretty good amount right at the beginning of his career. And then in his second year, he took a step back and came off the bench, and he only averaged around 6 points a game. And where is he now? Let's just put it that way. That's what I'm saying, y'all. This is weird. Y'all are weird with like just expecting Scotty to just go and just keep elevating his game one after another. No, that's not how it works. He has to go through the development and the ups and downs of it. And a wise Raptor fan understands this and doesn't start sewering him or talking like, what's wrong with Scotty? What's wrong with Scotty? Oh, I'm so sick of what's wrong with Scotty. We won last night. We broke Casey's revenge. We got the W. Why are people finding little things to go after people still? It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. All right, let's do it. I just wanted to get that rant off the top about the way people are looking at Scotty today in this current like period is going on. Sure, people that hate the Raptors and hate Scotty are going to say, yeah, he's a sucks. He's a wash. He's a bust. They're putting that all over Twitter right now. So we don't need Raptor fans themselves to put this kind of bullshit out there also. Sure, let Detroit fan, let Cleveland fan, let Orlando fan. You know, they have reasons why. Because their rookie didn't win Rookie of the Year last year. So, of course, they're going to see Scotty struggle right now and, like, try and stick that knife in his back and say, oh, you suck. You're a bust. Man, y'all are crazy. You're going to see. There wasn't anything bust about what he was doing last night. You saw that pass to Dalano. Oh, my gosh. That was sweet. You saw so many good things. It's like they said at the beginning of the game, the Detroit announcers, how many teams point guard jumps the center jump at the beginning of the game, the jump ball? How many teams point guard jumps the center jump at the beginning of the game regularly? Okay? There's so many things about him, and it's not about scoring, y'all. Y'all think everything in the NBA is about scoring. There are so many things about him that he brings to the table. He could average 10 points a game for the rest of his career and still be a badass, y'all. You don't even understand that. Some of y'all casual fans out there, he could average 10 points a game for the rest of his career and he could still be a badass. What if he averaged 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists a game? Would you be upset with that? Because that could very well be a stat line that he averages later on. Of course, you want 20 points. Oh, I want 20 points from Scotty. I want 20 points from Scotty. Y'all are spoiled. Oh, you're so spoiled. Casual Raptor fans that showed up, bandwagoners that showed up around the championship. Y'all are spoiled. Oren Weisfeld was right on Twitter. He called y'all out yesterday. He said, y'all are spoiled. Raptors fans, y'all are spoiled. We've been winning so much. We've been doing so well. Y'all are so fucking spoiled and entitled. You casual ass fucking fake ass fucking Raptor fans. So just shut up. There's nothing wrong. Everything's going great. And the real ones, the ones like us, the ones that show up here every day, know everything's fine. That the ship is sailing smoothly in the NBA right now for the Toronto Raptors. And even if we have injuries, the ship is still sailing smoothly. So, oh my gosh, man. All right. I love y'all are filling up the net. Let's go see what y'all put in there. Let's see. Raymond Jacob is saying, Casey, I won't say the word, Raymond, lifted. I did not do that either. I do not jinx them. I have nothing to do with these kind of superstitions, Raymond Jacob. I just tell you like it is. I'm not going to say if I see it on paper in the morning, I'm going to say, oh, yeah, they're going to probably beat us if I don't think they'll beat us. So me saying that I think we'll probably take care of them, I mean it. And we did. We did take care of them real nice. I mean, look at it this way, Raymond. We're missing 4 of our starters and one of our main bench guys come off the bench, and then we lost another player. So we were missing 6 personnel last night. So you take 6 personnel off our team, you take Cade Cunningham and Corey Joseph off the other team, and we still beat their ass. So, I mean, look at that way. You could look at it that way. We're missing 4 of our starters last night. 4. Gary, Fred, Pascal, Precious, not four, three. We were missing three of our starters, Precious, and then Otto. Well, Otto's technically a starter last night because he had to go in the middle of the game. And I don't think he's that hurt, y'all. So don't worry about him missing more games or anything like that. I think he's going to be fine. He'll be able to play. All right. Yeah. What a wonderful world. I see winds over KC. Skies are blue. The Raptors won. How do you feel today when we know it's a wonderful world? All right, Isaac Campbell, what are you saying? Raptors fans were louder than at home. The OG MVP chants to end the third quarter were marvelously loud. The fluke injury to Isaiah Stewart helped a lot, but next man up is alive and well in Raptors land. Yes, Isaac. All right, let me break this down. Really was a resurrection after the pandemic. I did not know if this would be true again once we all were able to leave our houses and come out of lockdown and cross the border. This is a big thing about last year is there was a lot of border restrictions. So Canadian fans could not get to the Detroit arena, and that we didn't have that home court advantage that we get when we go to Detroit in recent years because of pandemic things, whether it's we were down in Tampa or whatever. We didn't get this home court arena kind of home arena B, I've described it. Well, we got it again last night. And it was so reassuring and nice to hear the friendly chants of Raptor fans in the Little Caesars Arena once again. And yes, we heard, let's go Raptors, let's go Raptors. We heard defense chants. We heard them boo the Pistons players at their own free throw lines in their own arena while they're trying to shoot free throws. We heard an OG chant. And some people were like, why don't we do that at Scotiabank? Why are they doing it down there? And every single time they showed people in the crowd last night, you could see a Raptor fan sitting in every shot. The Detroit camera crew was trying to avoid showing Raptors fans when they showed the crowd, and they just could not. You just saw them. They were prevalent. They were all over the place. As Matt Devlin said, there were thousands of Raptor fans at the game in Detroit last night. In fact, we know our good friend Naco the Nacho went there to that game and was one of them in that building last night. And I give you all such a big W because y'all really helped us break this Casey's Revenge thing. Y'all really helped us reacquire our second home arena. That, Detroit fan on Twitter last night was like, what the fuck? Are we booing our own team at home? They didn't, no, the Toronto fans are because we took over y'all's arena. We annexed that bitch. Yeah, we did it just like the U.S. to say, this is Alaska. We're annexing this bitch. That's what we did last night. We came across the border. I don't know, it's people in Windsor, people in Sarnia, people from Toronto, people from Southern Ontario, cross that border, and boom, we annexed this bitch. It's our building now. I just love that. And this is the kind of stuff that just brings joy and revitalizes how we feel. Is, we did a couple of things last night. We got a monkey off our back. Something that really has been bugging Raptor fans for a long time. This whole Detroit thing is silly. It's silly, y'all. They're just another team. And maybe things had just been lining up for them to beat us more often than not in recent years. Sure, those numbers look real weird when you look at Coach Casey's record against us and then against the rest of the NBA. And you're like, this does not add up. But like I said, he said it before the game last night. I do not prepare the Detroit Pistons any different for the Toronto Raptors than I prepare them for any other team in the NBA. And in a lot of ways, we did not see that get up and go fierceness from the Pistons team that they're fighting for their lives for Coach Casey. We did not see that last night. And I said, who's going to Raptor who the most? Who's going to be the Raptors and who's going to be the Raptors? The Raptors or the fake Raptors, the junior Raptors? Who's going to Raptor the other team more? And well, we showed it right off the bat. Scotty did the jump and the ball went over and they got the ball. But look what happened. Immediately, Thaddeus and OG and them, they were trapping them and they kind of turnover right off the bat, right at the beginning of the game. I was like, oh, this is a good sign. This is the Raptors being the Raptors and raptoring the Pistons right from the start of the game. The energy was fantastic. Them being all over them, doing all the stuff that they were doing. And it was so nice to see. And in fact, Scotty was really good right at the beginning of the game. In fact, he scored 2 of the first baskets, and he got the team going. And it's like with Gary not being there because of shin injury, he kind of did that role of trying to jumpstart the offense at the beginning of the game. And Scotty did a very good job. He got like the first 2 baskets, and there was nothing wrong with that. Sure, he didn't score a whole lot afterwards, but he was looking for people. He was rebounding. He was trying to play defense at times with mixed results. You know, he did good at times, but sometimes he just didn't. He wasn't playing very good defense. But this game last night was a great showcase of our bench, showcase of people like Wancho, Jeff Dowtin, Dalano Banton, Malachi Flynn. And you see the things that they can add to us in stepping into roles when we need them, when people are absent, or when we need them just to have spot duty. One of the things I really liked about the game last night was Thaddeus starting and the way he played. He did not play like normal, like way that you kind of like, oh, he's really good. He's doing so good. Once again, he doesn't have to score a whole lot, and everybody thinks he's playing well on the court. Well, why can't we say this about Scotty? I really think he's playing very well, and y'all just are holding such a high expectation for him to score that you don't realize how much he's doing otherwise. And that you need to give him more credit for playing well. It's just these people, these stat heads, they think, oh, he's got to get 20. He's got to average 20. He's averaged 15 last year. He's got to average 20 this year. Well, fuck all that. Seriously. I want y'all to really think about what your expectations are for each of the players, every given night, and just don't worry about their individual stats. Just worry about their cumulative stats altogether and whether they got that double. If they get that W, they get exempt from all kinds of criticism in my book. Because, you know, listen, Dalano pissed me off in the beginning of the game. I was like, Dalano, you're playing like garbage. He really was. He threw that ball way too hard to the corner, and it was a turnover. He had a couple of lapses of judgment. They did call him for one of those stupid carry calls. The travel call was a little bit of a thing going on last night with the refs, but nothing too serious or bad for us. In fact, they were helping us, y'all. The Detroit Piston fan, you could say there was some ref manipulation last night, and there definitely was. And it was for the Raptors. They were helping us. They definitely were. Because, you know, that one play where they actually went and looked at the flagrant foul about the landing shot with OG, or I think it was OG, and their player, I think it was Jaden Ivey or something like that. He was a little bit under him, and they ended up calling it a flagrant, and they gave us the ball and the free throws. That was fantastic. That call could have easily just been, that's a normal foul, and they didn't call a flagrant because it was very 50-50. But for some reason, Frere and Forte, they decided they wanted to call that one last night. And that was great. That benefited us. And then the other thing you can say about the referees that was weird last night, a lot of late whistles. And I don't hate that. I don't hate late whistles to a degree. I hate it when they're against us, but I don't hate them when they're for us. And that was a lot of what was happening. There were some bailout whistles for us all of a sudden. That's normally stuff they'll do for Philadelphia or Boston. I was really surprised by that, to see that our guys would they would wait and see whether we did something good, and then they'd call the whistle and put us on the line. Thank you. Seriously, the ref manipulation was in our favor last night, and it wasn't totally down the line. We were getting better calls. And if Detroit fan come and watch this, I'll agree. Yeah, the refs were on our side last night, and they did help us a little bit more than they helped y'all. That's for sure. Yeah. All right, let's see. Monique's here. Good morning, everyone. I give credit to Chris Boucher, the way he has started off lately. Wow, 3 stars. Dalano, Chris, and Thad. Stay focused. All right, my number 1 star is obviously Dalano Banton. He was the king of Rexdale, king of Toronto, king of Detroit. He's annexing their arena. He's just doing so much great things. Like I said, he had one little part in the beginning of the game where I was really mad at him. And I was like, you know what? Maybe you should be playing Dalano. You shouldn't be playing Dalano. You should be playing Malachi or Jeff Dowtin instead of Dalano, because he's a little sloppy and careless right now. But then he cleaned it up and he really took over. And the thing about what he was doing last night was it was a mixture of him attacking the basket and taking an outside 3. The 3 looked real good last night. And then he was getting other people involved too. So really, really good job by Dalano Banton. My number 1 star last night. My second star is Chris Boucher, because he was absolutely fantastic for a little while in there. In the second quarter, Chris could not miss. And the thing about what Chris was doing last night was he was doing a little bit out of his wheelhouse. stuff that he's not really encouraged to do by Nick Nurse. And but it was really effective and fine. He could not miss. He was hitting mid ranges last night, and they were weird because he was dribbling and then mid ranging. And it's like, I know, Chris, you had a dream to be like Kevin Durant and be like a Kevin Durant type player in the NBA. Well, you looked like a Kevin Durant type player last night at times with the way you were scoring off your shot, and it was so crazy how you just did not miss. Like, your shot looks so good. And I'm like, no, he's not going to make this one too. And then he did. I was like, holy shit, he made this one too. It really was that kind of feeling about Chris around the second quarter. Let's look at his stats specifically. 7 of 12 from the field. That is fantastic. 7 of 12 from the field, Chris Boucher. 1 of 3 from three, 5 for 5 at the free throw line. This is another area they really kicked ass in last night. They missed one free throw out of 28 last night, and I am so proud of them for that. 96% at the free throw line for the Raptors last night. So good. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 20 points for Chris Boucher off the bench, who has been on a real tear recently. Chris has been so solid in these awful games recently. He was actually the one bright light in both the Oklahoma City game and Indiana game, and then again tonight. So Chris is really playing hot, and his shooting is scorching right now. And you go, Chris Boucher. And I just love to see the after the game, all the stuff you're putting up on Instagram, the stuff of your teammates picking you up off the floor, just the different things you're doing right now, Chris, are badass. And I love what you said after the game too. It's like you got sick and annoyed of hearing about this Casey crap, and you wanted to do something about it. Well, thank goodness. Maybe this will go away a little bit. And hopefully my prediction that the Raptors will sweep the Pistons this season will come true. We've got the first one. So let's keep going. Let's kill this thing all the way. Next time we play Detroit, we need to beat them again. And I think that the way this team is, I think we got a good chance. And I'm not jinxing it, Raymond Jacob. Now, all right, let me see what else you're saying. The thing that happened to Isaiah Stewart last night was stupid. Like, what is that flimsy ass advertisement next to the court? And I could see how quickly it could move, and it seems like if it's going to hurt him, it could hurt the people in the front row of the crowd. It's like he ran and he hit his knee on it or something, and then it pushed, and it still looked like it hit the guy in the front row's knee. It just looked really shoddy and dangerous, that advertising at the side of the court. And maybe Detroit can blame that for what happened to Beef Stew last night, that their advertising is not safe next to the court, and maybe they want to change it. I don't know. That was unfortunate, and it did help us, but I don't think he would have helped them too much to close it out. They're really a weird team this year. I don't know how they got worse from last year. It seemed like they were better last year, way, way better last year, and dangerous. And this year, Detroit is really not dangerous. They're not, guys. I'm just going to say it. They're not a dangerous team to me because I don't know what's wrong with them. There's something really weird about them. They are definitely rebuilding. Like Matt Devlin said that this Detroit team is rebuilding. Well, they're rebuilding from last year. It's really weird. They ripped it down. Monique saying, good morning, everyone. I just read that one. Yeah, my third star for the game is actually OG. OG just did a couple of really overpowering things. That was good, and I could include that. But my 3 stars are Dalano, Chris, and OG. OG just did a lot of that water carrying stuff that I talk about. It was kind of shared between him and Dalano for the game. OG was 6 of 19. He was 1 for 6 for 3, but he had 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. He didn't get any steals last night, although it seemed like he got a steal and ran it back at one point, didn't he? 19 points. The thing about OG that I really liked was that dunk. And that a lot of times he just seemed like the most capable player on the court, like the dominant number 1 guy on the court, the best player out there, until Dalano really overshadowed him by the end of the game. That it looked like OG was the man. And that's why I kind of put him in third spot. So good stuff. And I like your 3 too. Thaddeus was really good. And in fact, Nick Nurse was saying that Thad was really, really good. And he only had like 6 points. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block for Thad in 26 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field. The thing I really liked about Thad, and this made me think, I was like, man, we should maybe just start Thad every single game, even with everybody healthy. figure this out, because there could be a really smart thing. I want to propose this to the Raptors and Nick Nurse and the coaches. It's like, you don't have to start your absolute five best in the starting lineup every time. Maybe it's good to have a mix of a really talented person from the bench like Thad, because we saw Thad playing like a Marc Gasol, like point center role last night. He was in the high post and he was directing traffic. And at times, Thaddeus Young looked like Jokic. Did that kind of Jokic or like a Gasol kind of big center passing. And it was really, really effective at making our offense look like it was working really well, because he was finding people cutting. We were getting easy baskets. And I'm like, even if we just start him and he just plays like the first 3 or 4 minutes and then we come back in with like Gary or something, I'm just like wondering about this, because so many good teams in the history of the NBA, they didn't just start their five best players to start the game. And that's just how they did it. They had role players in the starting lineup that did specific things to help you get off to a good start. And that's what I was thinking. Maybe we should start Thaddeus, because he helps our offense get off to a really good start with another passer, another person that can help facilitate, another person that can help these other guys get open shots easier. And I was thinking about that. And then you have a bit more punch off your bench, which is something we've been calling out for. Now, this doesn't mean the minutes change. That the guys that start right now, the regular five starters that Nick Nurse loves so much, doesn't mean that changes. They get the same amount of minutes by the end of the game. It just means you put that role player spot in the rotation right at the beginning as a starter, and they still get less minutes. Like that would still play like 15 to 20 minutes. It's just he's establishing a flow through the offense right away by being a high post passer. And I think that is just a really interesting thing to maybe explore. And think about, Nick. I know you want premium orange juice right from the start of the game, the best oranges, squeeze them, lemons, get that. But why couldn't you like split them up? And then maybe you won't struggle so much in like when the bench unit comes in, because you have somebody like Gary with that crew, or even Fred. I don't care who it is. Just switch it around and make it a little different. Maybe if Scotty's having trouble, maybe you do bring him off the bench at this point and let him do all kinds of different stuff, because maybe it's easier level for him. He comes in and plays against the reserves from the other team and he absolutely dominates and kills it. I don't know. If anything, a game like last night and giving more burn to people like Malachi, Thaddeus, Dalano, Jeff Dowtin, Wancho, it's made us have more problems with, who should be playing? Who should be playing? Because we are seeing a lot of capable stuff from these bench guys also. And then maybe they need to be eaten into some of the time that Fred and Gary and Scotty and Pascal and OG have. So, yeah, very interesting stuff about last night. Monique saying also, Dalano wasn't going to make us lose this game, period. Big 45 to the rescue. Keep building, at least try to guys. Let's go. I'm at the game tomorrow. All right, Monique. So you'll be there for Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, homecoming, coming back again. He's already been talking about it. I really look forward to coming back and seeing all my friends in Toronto. I have so many good people I love here in Toronto, and I'm looking forward to being around them again. He's probably already here. So, it'll be fun to see Kyle again, and you get loud and cheer them on to a good game and win, Monique. I know we'll win, hopefully tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning, previewing the Miami Heat game tomorrow. All right, let's see. Seymour's here. Casey, won't say that word once again, guys, is a wrap. Adios. If you missed that game yesterday, it was like missing the birth of your child. Not gonna lie. That's Seymour. You're hilarious. Yeah, this is a phenomenon with Raptor fans that are fair weather. You idiots. You see the two games before, and you're like, I can't watch them lose to Detroit. Also, I'm not that much of a masochist, so they don't even fucking watch the games. And sometimes they get in a weird pattern of like, well, okay, I'll watch it next time. And then they'll watch a game where we lose again. And they're like, why did I fucking watch it? And then they won't watch and we'll win again. And they're like, whoa, I missed the win again. You fucking idiots. Just stay ride or die and watch every single fucking game. And then you won't miss a great game like last night. Like if you were like, oh, I don't want to watch them anymore, Pensair or whatever. He's fucking talking shit. Y'all don't tell him to come here. Seriously. Turn off the TV, Pensair. Seriously, you don't want to watch this. You don't get to enjoy the breaking of the Casey's Revenge thing that's been going on. Yeah, I love that, Seymour. And you know what? I don't know if it's that important, like the birth of your child, but I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, some Raptor fans really feel that strongly about the team. Seymour saying Detroit deserved to lose with those atrocious jerseys. Yeah, well, you know what? They were kind of like Michigan State jerseys. They were, I know they're weird green jerseys. They kind of look like Mavericks jerseys or Bucks jerseys. There really is a good story behind them, though. I mean, if you heard in the broadcast, those were jerseys that were worn at a church in Michigan where everybody who was anybody played there. It was like kind of like their rec league, like Rucker Park kind of place. And they're just honoring that place. This is a place where Magic Johnson played before he went to the NBA. A lot of big, huge names from Michigan basketball. And that's why it's like, somebody like Irvin might have saw the game last night with what the jerseys that Detroit was wearing, and he would have been like nostalgic. And maybe he kind of got a little teary eyed and maybe like, oh, yeah, those are those old jerseys that we used to wear at that old place that I used to play at when I was a kid. This is somewhere that's been very important to basketball in the state of Michigan for like decades, is what Matt Devlin was saying last night. But they didn't look that great. I'll agree with that. And it's weird seeing Detroit wearing green. Everybody was wearing green last night. But you know what? We play real good against teams wearing green. You can ask the Milwaukee Bucks. We play this Boston Celtics better than most teams in this league. So we're good at playing teams that wear green. So you go ahead and keep wearing green, Detroit, because we had a good record against you when you wear green. So I love those green jerseys, Seymour. They need to be wearing them every time we play them from now on. Let's see. Tom Duke saying awesome performance by a confident Mr. Banton. Tempo was great. Ivy was going for it. Good to see Wancho looking solid. He got a break after a Eurobasket and now getting rolling, contributing. Let's go. Yeah, Banton really did carry water and was the leader. He was the dude. And like I said, this had happened with Scotty faster if he had gone the route that Dalano has gone. This is really why Dalano can step up and be a leader on the NBA level, is because he's been stepping up and being a leader on the G League level. And he's had practice with this a lot in the last year. So it's way more natural for him to just take over and be like a Freddie or a Pascal at the end of the game and help the team win and be the man. Now, talking about Wancho, fantastic stuff last night by Wancho. This is his best game so far as a Raptor, and it was more minutes and different things. Just really good on defense. 4 for 8 from the field, 24 points, 24 minutes, 9 points, a plus 11. He had 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Great game by Wancho. We saw him hit a 3. We saw him do a little spin and roll where he got like a cut and he got found and he just laid it in. There was some of the stuff he was doing out there. It was really like European style kind of basketball, the things that he's doing. And he looked great. He looked fantastic. That is not fucking Svi Mahalik 2.0. I'm sorry. You saw what he did out there. And there's things that he did in the game last night that Svi does not do. And it's really like some of the rebounding stuff, some of the defensive stuff. And then when you see Wancho out there with like Chris and Christian, that's a very tall lineup. That's a very, very tall lineup and very daunting to try and score on. When you have Koloko, Boucher, and Hernan Gomez out there all together, that's very tall, very, very tall and very mobile. But yeah, I'm really excited about Wancho. He's going to be a steady dude along the lines of like Thad and Otto, this veteran kind of guy. In fact, when Otto went out, he kind of swallowed up a lot of Otto's minutes last night. And they even said that. Alvin said that he's got a lot of the same qualities that Otto Porter does have too as a 3-point shooter. And that's helpful as somebody extra to come in to fill in when we lose somebody like Otto all of a sudden. Look, losing guys left and right, and we're still badasses. Come on, y'all. You got to love this team. You got to love this team. Sue is here. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you, Sue. Seymour is also saying refs couldn't pull this one off for Pistons. Did you see how many free throws they gave them? Shaking my head. Actually, no, I did not see this. Seymour, I really think we got the benefit of the doubt last night. By far. I mean, they did get 43 free throws last night, and maybe they were bailing them out a bit, but who cares? We were getting a lot of calls also. They were doing challenges, and we were winning the challenges. I really thought the refs were on our side. So I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way, but it is what it is. I mean, you're right. That is an amazing amount of free throws for them. 43 free throws. That is a lot of free throws. And meanwhile, in another game, one team's only getting 4 free throws the whole entire game. I think it was Phoenix. That's crazy. They only got 4 free throw attempts as a team for the whole entire game. That's insane. Meanwhile, Detroit's getting 43 against us. Wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. And I honestly, like I said, I think the refs were on our side last night, and it really felt like that. They were giving us a lot of good calls, really, really good calls, and looking out for us by giving us foul shots too. Like, Chris was going to the foul line a lot last night. And, I was just really happy with the amount of, Barnes didn't get the line at all, which is kind of messed up. But OG did get the line 7 times. And that's better than other games recently where OG just does not get any respect. So they were giving OG some respect and putting him on the line, which was good. Cool Cats here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. I expected the I won't say that word, to break. Casey don't know our young players' tendencies. Hard to plan against them. Congrats, Rexdale's finest, Dalano. Great team win. Scotty, aggression. Yeah. That's true. And somebody did mention this, that, this is part of the reason why maybe he had so much success is he was very familiar with our personnel in the years after he left, because it was very much the same players, very similar. And that maybe we've changed and mutated and changed to a different team enough since he's left that we're not as familiar with him anymore, that there's some new players that come in, and maybe Nick is doing different things and schemes that are different than what he had been doing. The case. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's just the basic level of they're not good enough to beat us, even with so many people missing. That we have such good talent in so many different ways. We have guys that do so many different cool skills and different things, and we see them on display. And it's just it's just we have a better talent level than Detroit does in a lot of ways, and that was a big part of why we won. Let's see. Randolph Phillips is saying blessings and good morning to the amazing, most informative Raptors freak gang. Our amateurs broke the Casey, I won't say that word, last night. Yes. Blessings to you, Randolph Phillips. Hope you're having a great week. I know that game last night's a great way to have this week start. So yeah. Thank you for the compliment too. Yeah, it was a good win. It was a good win. We needed it. If we had lost last night, we'd be below 500. A lot of people would be, even more people would be jumping off the ledge. We really needed it. Oh my gosh. You guys are saying hi to each other, saying hi to Randolph. I love it. Sue's saying our boys did a great job. How about Fatty Daddy out there? And let's show some love to Dowtin. Yeah, Dowtin really playing some key minutes at the end. And I'm telling y'all, he's going to be fully converted. By the end of the year, you can be an important person on this team. In fact, he showed some stuff with this defense at the end of the game. He made a block that really was crucial and key for us to close out the win. And it was a little bit of danger. We had a good little margin through the third quarter, a double-digit lead. We're kind of cruising. And then they did try and surge up in the fourth quarter and try and overcome us, but we held them off. And they never actually did surpass us with their point total. We kept the lead the whole time, but it was very close. Very, very close. And it really was about game managing, being smart, being very, very good with not turning the ball over and not making mistakes late in the game. Because, like I said, this team is inexperienced for Detroit, and they made so many mistakes. They had so many stupid-ass mistakes. And they're like, we can't let this team beat us. Because obviously they're bad. They're bad. They're throwing the ball away. They're doing this wrong. They're really bad turnovers. Just all kinds of different stuff. So we really did need to win this game. Nameless is saying, let's go. Yes, Nameless. G saying, Scotty has been scouted. This is very normal for sophomores. He is also playing a different position with more responsibility and pressure. He still has major impact. He had huge impact last night. He still does a lot of stuff that's amazing. And this is exactly right. Anyway, I don't want to put too much of a spotlight on him or magnifying glass, because really a lot of people are right now, and it's just not necessary. Just let the kid develop and grow as a player on his own time and schedule. It's not up to y'all. Y'all are not the taskmaster, and you say, you must jump this high, Scotty, to be okay with me and me be happy with you. It's like he said so many times this summer, Scotty's going to be Scotty. He's going to be the best version of himself. He's not going to be the next Magic. He's not going to be the next Kawhi. He's not going to be the next Giannis. He's going to be the next Scotty Barnes, and that's all he should be and who he should be. And he's the only person he needs to be compared to is himself. Now, you can compare him to being better and better. Sure, he was better last year than he is so far this year. But that doesn't mean he won't be better this year by the end of the year. It's just the beginning of the year he looks worse than he did last year. But it's not even that he's worse. He's just changing his role and doing things a little bit different, just like G is saying. More responsibility, more pressure, more difficult things he's trying to do. G saying Dalano had absolutely no fear, and he shouldn't. He went to Brazil and he did all kinds of crazy shit like that down there. He's been doing this for G League. He has confidence in knowing in practice for the Raptors 905 how to close out a game as being that role. That really is what it was last night. It's all the 905 games he played last year came in real handy last night and informed and helped him be a leader in those pressure situations and be successful. Is the practice at 905. And that's the difference. It's like, well, what if Scotty had been down there practicing as being the man and doing that kind of stuff? That may have been very fruitful for him in some ways. So I don't know. That's obviously an argument you can make. It's like the Dalano Banton work at 905 is the reason why he was able to do what he did last night. Let's see. Shane Waters is saying confident. Yes, very confident. Dalano, very, very, very confident last night. Kareem saying, I might be a few steps away, but please leave room for me as the Chris Boucher 6 Man of the Year campaign bandwagon has started rolling. Yes, Kareem Thomas. Yes, he's got 5 on this. He's got 5 on Chris Boucher, maybe winning 6 Man of the Year. You know, he is making a very strong case in some of the things he's doing, and he is opening eyes. Like when you hear the other announcers in games right now, they're saying stuff like Chris Boucher couldn't do this 2 years ago. What Chris Boucher? Look at him, his shots. He's making these shots. Look at what he's doing. Wow, Boucher. I'm really impressed with him off their bench. Well, he's getting attention from other announced teams. So maybe this is something that is possible that Chris can be a 6 Man of the Year candidate by the end of the year. He's got to be consistent and keep this up all year. And it's not even kind of the thing about scoring that he has to do it. If he gets some like 16, 17 rebound games this season and he doesn't score a lot, that'll help too. It's like whatever he can do to help off the bench in major ways. It could be. It may be a long shot still, just for a couple different reasons. But I love this idea, Kareem. And this is how Raptor Freak thinks. Oh, yeah, it is. Raymond Jacobs saying Scotty being sent to G League would be weird. Cade, Mobley, Jalen, they were all too good for G League. I know, but listen, Raymond, forget about it being weird. Forget about the prestige thing. Forget about Justin Champagny being pissed off, stuck at the G League and being like, I don't deserve to be down here. Forget all that shit. Look at what happened with Dalano. And be like, well, fuck, if we had played Scotty down there all last year and let him do the same kind of things that Dalano was doing down there, maybe he would have more real world experience doing what Dalano did last night. And he would be able to more fulfill what the fans want him to be so badly right now. Like, think about that. This is Brian Winders. Brian Winders. What if the Raptors had sent Scotty to 905 last year and he had gotten a chance to take over games and be the man and get practice in that at that level? Would he have been able to do it more in the NBA level now, like Dalano did last night? It's a good question. Forget about pride. Forget about like, oh, I'm the top 5 pick in the draft. Forget about that shit. If this is good for the team and it shows good things, and Scotty could see like, oh shit, well look at what Dalano did. Man, I kind of wish I'd played at 905 last year. Maybe I would have been doing what Dalano did last night. This is very sound logic for what I'm saying right here because it's true. Dalano has way more experience taking over and being the man in the game just because of what I'm saying. And Scotty does not have that. He's the whole last year he was insulated with Pascal and Fred and OG around him the whole time. And he just not get those kind of experiences like Dalano did last year. So forget about the lottery pick and like, oh no, I'm too good to play in the G League. Well, maybe we're missing something here about developing a young talent quicker because we could have sent him down there and maybe he would have been the guy last night doing what Dalano did. All right. Monique saying other guys than Chris Boucher showed up. It was much needed. Oh my God. Nick said after the game, very good collective effort by the whole entire squad, that he really didn't have anybody who was that disappointed in last night. He thought that everybody came with a good effort. We shot 48% from the field, actually really 49. Our threes could have been way better. We shot just under 30% for threes, only made 8 of them to their 10, but that wasn't a huge differential that we had to make up. But the free throws, fantastic. Considering we got way less free throws than them and we only got 4 less points from free throws. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. We out rebounded them 42-39. We were actually losing the rebound battle at halftime, but we made it up by the end of the game. And look at that magic number for assists. 27 assists for the Raptors. That's over 25, my goal for each game. And there really was some really nice sharing of the ball last night, whether it was Scotty's really cool passes or Thad Young in the high post. Different stuff was happening, and people were getting found with Jeff Dowtin, Dalano, Banton, and Malachi Flynn, looking for guys and setting people up and playing off each other. Fantastic job. And then another stat that's real important is the points in the paint. We beat them in the points in the paint 56-44, and that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. So really, really happy with the all-around effort, just like Nick Nurse is. Very, 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 very much happy with it also. All right, let's see. Fun guy saying, let's go, Lex. I love the no jinx against the right team. Laugh out loud, against the right team too. Listen, I mean, I'm just going to be real about it. I want to believe that they're going to win. And when I did my juice show, like during the Tampa season, I would predict they were going to win every time, and they lost all the time. It's just kind of my nature to predict they're going to win. Now, if I'm telling you they're probably going to lose, that's probably because they probably might have a really bad chance to try and win. And, I felt that way about that Miami game after traveling from Brooklyn. I was like, we're not going to win tonight. And we didn't. We didn't win that game. But I don't know. I try and be positive. And if I'm positive and I'm saying the team's going to win, that's a default for me. So it's not like I'm jinxing anything. It's because I'm just going to say that anyway. So Cool Cat saying Scotty was aggressive all game and had a complete game. If we had Scotty at 905, the NBA would not allow him to win Rookie of the Year. That's true. That's a good point, Cool Cat. That's a very good point. Scotty is scouted now. He will learn like Pascal did. Not worried. Yeah, and when these guys get back, his life's going to get easier. That's just how it is. It's like they're really in a hard spot right now. And maybe that's a really good way of looking at it. They're in a hard spot right now, and it's hard and everything's difficult. And boom, reinforcements show up and it gets a little easier. And then boom, all of a sudden we see Scotty with more triple doubles again and average, like maybe scoring around 25 points because Pascal's there also next to him. I'm not worried about this at all either, Cool Cat. But that is a very good point about the difference. It would have been sacrificing possibly the Rookie of the Year for Scotty for that development that I'm describing about him going to G League. So that is a very good point. And you're exactly right. He wouldn't have won Rookie of the Year if we sent him to G League. So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. Well, what do you care about? A single individual award, Scotty? Or do you care about becoming the best player you can possibly be as fast as you can? Because that's what Dalano seems like he cares about, becoming the best possible player he can be as fast as he can. Well, maybe we need to slow develop Scotty to a degree, and that may be smarter in some ways. Let's see. Joseph Starks is saying, good morning, gents and ladies. This roller coaster is a lot of fun. This team is going to be so good once we're healthy again. We are really going to be good. Like, seriously, anybody who thinks that we're just shitty because of the last couple games, the last week with all the injuries, you're fucking stupid. Once again, why do we have so many unintelligent Raptors fans that don't have a perspective or an idea of like everything that's involved and all the things that are happening in the timeline and the scheme of things? Why can't you guys wrap your head around it? Are you just fucking miserable fucks and you just getting miserable about whatever little miserable thing that's going on? I think that's what it is. Y'all are just miserable fucks. A lot of y'all Raptor fans that are toxic. You're crazy. You are crazy. You get so upset. Anybody who's upset or saying negative things about the Raptors that's in Raptors Nation from last night, y'all need to shut the fuck up and just go away, please. Oh my gosh. G saying they went after Fred after they beat Houston. This is a know-it-all, immature part of our fan base. Yes, I think this is true. I think that it does have to do with age to a degree. I'm not trying to be ageist or anything, but sometimes young people just don't have the perspective in some ways. And especially since they're younger, they probably don't know the whole context and the long-term things, the different things that have happened in the Raptors organization with development and time. And like they weren't around for DeMar and Kyle, obviously. They've only been around for the championship. And they have a standard of it's just got to be championship. And if it's not anything, I'm upset and this team sucks. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Y'all are not know-it-alls. Y'all are stupid, dumbass kids that just like to be snarky and make little stupid-ass comments on Twitter. Y'all don't even know basketball half the time. You just fucking know names. And you're like, this person didn't do this. And you don't fucking know basketball. half y'all little toxic Twitter trolls, y'all don't fucking know shit about basketball. So you fucking shut the fuck up. Fuck up. Let's see. G saying Scotty is working on playmaking. People don't understand once he gets it all together how lethal he will be. Yeah, more and more time passes. Scotty's going to be more and more dangerous. They want to believe this is this horrible time that he's having right now. I don't even think it's that horrible. It's just that people that think, oh, he didn't score this amount of points, so he must be garbage. Well, he does so much other stuff on the court than just score. And that's the thing that's why they don't know basketball. They don't fucking understand that. Savage is saying he's a defensive liability. Bogdanovich cooked him. Literally can't guard on the perimeter, yet he still does. All right, I've heard this knock, and thank you, Savage, for being here as a troll. Let me see. Listen, Bogdanovich, what did he score last night? He scored fucking 18 points. He shot 5 of 12, Savage. You know what? He's been averaging like over almost 25 points. So I'd say we fucking did a pretty goddamn good job on Scotty Barnes. And sure, you can say, okay, he gets blown by a couple of times. Sure, this has been something that's happened to him all his career so far, is that sometimes he gets blown by. But a part of our team defensive mentality is to be very aggressive and up close. And when you're that close to somebody and you're dogging them, sometimes their quickness can get around you real quick. And we have a defensive scheme that allows for this because they have people that catch them on the way. And that you have somebody like Koloko or Ken Birch or something like that catching the slack after Scotty. There's nothing wrong with this. In fact, we value being aggressive and going for the steal and losing our guy that we're defending more than laying off of them and not being aggressive and hounding them. So this is a direct result of Scotty being aggressive in our hounding defensive scheme, and it's allowed to a degree that he gets burned and guys get by him. So that's what I will put that with that and stuff like that. But once again, this was a really good game last night, and there's no reason to point out anything negative about the Raptors. You know, if there's some constructive criticism, sure. But I have to tell you right now, Bogdanovich played like shit last night. So if you think he cooked the Raptors last night, you're fucking crazy. He didn't play good last night at all. And he's their number one option right now. He was like a bench option for the Utah Jazz a couple of years ago. And now all of a sudden he's the guy who's their man. And he's so limited in so many different ways. Sure, he's a good shooter, and that's about. There's not a whole lot to his kit is what he does. So yeah, I'm not going to go after him for this, Scotty, for that. No, but this is a knock that a lot of people are using. A lot of people that hate Scotty, they're using this knock right now. Seymour saying, "Thank God I don't have Twitter. Seems like that is where toxicity lives." Yeah, Twitter and Facebook. Facebook has a lot of it too. You can go into Facebook groups for the Raptors and you will hear some of the stupidest shit commented in there. Some people's opinions on Scotty Barnes are just not well informed and they're just fucking stupid. They're very, very dumb. They don't understand who he is and what we're talking about, like what G is saying here. They do not understand what he's trying to do and how hard it is and how progress is not linear, that it goes up and down. You have success and failure, and it's going to come in different batches. And we got to allow for it. It's not everybody's just a robot and they just perfectly do everything. That's not the way it is. The NBA is a sport of outcomes, different outcomes that happen every day on the court and little microtransactions, whether it's like making a free throw or making a shot or getting the steal or this. You know, it all adds up to something and something different. It can't always be consistently this. People that are super consistent in the NBA, they have really worked hard to be so consistent because it is so hard to night in and night out get the same stat line every night. So I don't understand why y'all expect this from our Raptors, because it's like different matchups, different settings, different biorhythms in their bodies from them day to day. They may be low energy one day, they may be like really feeling good other days. Anyway, we can't win with them, Seymour. So you may have the best strategy. Just stay the fuck away from it and just don't even look at it. There's no reason, because these people just don't need the attention, honestly. G saying can't guard on the perimeter, yet still does. How else does someone get better at something unless they keep doing it? At least he puts in the reps to pay off and isn't scared of trolls and negativity. I just hope he's not looking at anything. And Alvin said it at the beginning of the broadcast last night. He's like, y'all Raptors, don't be looking at what people are saying online right now. He said it at the beginning. I really do think they tune in and watch me a little bit. because they echo a lot of the same shit I say on the show later on sometimes. It's really interesting. And if you guys do watch me actually on the down low, I really appreciate it. Any of the broadcast crew, if any of you guys, anybody who's in the media who actually does watch me, I appreciate it. And y'all don't need to even say it or acknowledge it or anything. I may just can tell something you may say may sound exactly like some of the stuff I'm saying. And it may just be that great minds think alike. And it isn't that you are watching me, but there probably is somebody who may be keeping a track on what the Raptors freak is saying. All right, let's see. Monique is saying Flynn finally showing improvement. Thank God. He's been already kind of showing this in little bits. It's just we're getting to see more of it, and we're getting more confident in him. And he looks real confident. And some of the ways he lofts up his shot, like that one 3-pointer he shot from to the left of the basket, and he kind of just dribbled over and he just raised up and shot it. That's so overpowering because he's really good with that shot, and it's not an easy shot to do. And I love it. I want that aggressiveness. I really want him to show his ultra good skill set as an offensive player, because that is who he is. Really, is he's a baller. We saw it at Pro-Ams this summer where he could just throw in a huge amount of points in a game time situation. Well, let's see it more and more on this level, Malachi, because we know you have it. And it's so cool to see. And it's like we saw all of our different point guard looks and backup point guard looks, and they all are very different. Dalano, Jeff, and Malachi. Very, very different kind of things that they bring us. It's like Malachi is kind of a shot in the arm for offense with like a 3-point threat and hopefully scoring. And, you got Dalano doing what he did last night, kind of controlling the game, being long and slender, being quick with the ball up the court and aggressive. And then you got Jeff, who's a little kind of more consistent, kind of like smart, very like, intelligent about what he's doing on the court a lot of times. He had some really interesting plays near the end of the game that were really helpful to us winning. As far as like, there was one play where he was underneath the basket and he appeared, but it went out of bounds, but he was really aggressive in that play. And then like a block, like I said, he's very much hounding Jaden Ivey at the end. That was a really smart switch that Nick Nurse assigned him to guard Jaden Ivey near the end of the game, because he was the one that was trying to carry the water to help them win. And Jeff Dowtin did pretty good against him. Now, he did foul Jaden Ivey twice on that 3-point play, which sucked. He fouled him the first time and the refs didn't call it. But then when he fouled him the second time, they had to call it. And that was kind of dumb because he gave him 3 free throws. And I hated that. That was a boneheaded move that I kind of hated. And that made me think about Jeff Dowtin at Rico Hines when he kept fouling everybody and Fred yelled at him. I'm like, Jeff, just stop fouling everybody. Play good defense. Be right there. But don't get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. And don't just like swipe in certain ways. Learn it from Fred and the guys who know how to do it already, like OG. But be real careful. And also the way you kind of jumped into him when he was shooting threes is really dumb. He didn't have to foul him like that and put him on the line. So there's a couple of things that Jeff did that weren't totally perfect near the end, but he had so many good winning plays at the end that were more important than those little mistakes that he had near the end. So G saying some people are so short-sighted, they only see the now. They can't see what these reps will become down the line. Yes. This is stuff Scott is paying it forward. He's putting it in the bank to save for a rainy day. It's like the stuff he's doing right now. You may not see the benefits of it in present day right now, but this is all stuff that's going to accrue interest over time. And you're going to see it so much wonderfully and beautifully and better. And this is just the hard stuff, the beginning of it, the figuring it out, the getting good at it. So, yeah, I think you're exactly right, G. This down the line, he's going to get better and better and better. Nameless is here. That's a great point, Lex. I can see you put some real thought into this. See, now, if you send Scotty 905 is going to be a perceived slight on him. However, that couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, I mean, Scotty's the kind of guy that just wants to play. He has no ego in this. In fact, he probably would have played at the 905 level if we'd let him. I don't think that we wanted him to go down there, that it was our organization that held him from there. It wasn't his own self, because he wanted to play at Summer League. And he was a little sad that he wasn't involved in the Summer League play this summer. James Wiseman just got sent to the G League in the last day or so, and he's saying publicly, I don't look at this as a demotion. I look at this as being good for my career, and I'm really happy I'm going to play for the G League for a bit. He's already played down at the G League before for Golden State, and he sees the benefits of it. So it really is the kind of perception thing. Sure, some ballers and meatheads around the NBA may look like, oh, G League, it's like it's not good. You shouldn't be down there. But it may be you don't need to be thinking that way. That there's huge benefits to going down there. And yeah, I don't know. We'll never know what could have been with Scotty at 905 and what possibly could have had it being a factor for his getting better. But we see it with Dalano. That's for damn sure. We definitely see what 905 did for Dalano. Johnny's saying, "What's up, everyone? We needed that. We're going to need at least two guys back to have a chance with Miami." I think that's pretty good. I think you're about right. Hopefully, we get Fred back for sure. I bet you Fred will be back for this game going up against Lowry. And, maybe we get like, I don't know if it'll be Precious or Pascal, but maybe we get Otto back also, and maybe Gary. Maybe we get those three guys back, and that'll help a lot. But I think you're right. And yeah, this is the thing. We're going to need to be up for this game against Miami. It's going to be, I'll scout them tonight and I'll see where they're at with what they're doing. They're actually on a win streak right now. So, yeah, they're a little bit tougher than even when we saw them already this season for 2 games. So they kind of got their shit together a little bit better already. G saying Pascal went through the same stuff when he was turning it over in the paint, etc. People kept slandering him. He didn't care. He just kept putting in the reps. Exactly. It's not easy. You got to sometimes go through the fire, and boom, all of a sudden, like things are way easier and better, or you just know how to do it way better. And that's a lot of what's going to happen with Scotty. Is he's going to get way better at being successful and getting like little wins all throughout the game by winning decisions and winning little battles throughout the whole game. And it's just that, he's young, he's trying to figure it out, and he's not doing anything wrong like everybody thinks he is. He's not. Jimmy's saying, I just want to see Scotty go at them. I'm sick of this passiveness. No way he doesn't know what's falling on his shoulder with all these injuries. Well, who's to say that he's the one who's supposed to catch all this? Like, why is it got to be Scotty that's just got to be our savior right now? OG is actually the next person in line to try and do this for us. That it should really be, the pressure should be on OG's shoulders. It's just not fair to Scott to think that he's just magically going to step up and produce what these guys would produce if they were present. That's not fair to him. That OG's higher up on the escalator of progress and being that guy, and that he's the dude that should be getting this kind of pressure put on him. And you know what? He's succeeding. He's consistently being very strong in these games. And he has shown, like, I'm the leader, I'm the man kind of shit, like that dunk he had on Marvin Bagley last night. Another fantastic dunk by the Raptors in the middle of the game. And Paul B, you're going to have to get this compiled together, because we got that Scotty dunk on Vucevic now, and we got a couple OG dunks in the past week. They're absolutely nasty. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. OG's the dude that should be the one that's more aggressive, the one that's carrying the team, because he's been around longer. He's had more experience, and his progress on how his development's going is more in that area to be in that responsibility. Scotty didn't need that responsibility. No. So I don't think we should blame him, Jimmy. Unfortunately, I disagree with you on this. Now, I would like to see him be more aggressive in general, but I don't think it's where he has to carry the team. He shouldn't have to carry the team. It's not on him. It's a collective, and it shouldn't be just his individual responsibility. Isaac's saying Scotty is just playing point guard while filling in for Pascal's big shoes defensively. Bench will continue to dictate the win column because the starters play is maxed at the moment. Playing and winning deep. Champions 2023 Toronto Raptors, 2023 NBA champions Toronto Raptors. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, there is some things that he's trying to do to fill in for Pascal on defense that is probably very taxing. And I don't know. I don't want to talk about this too much. Like, it seems like we're going around in circles, but where my stance is with Scotty Barnes and his criticism of him right now, and what realistically is actually what's happening, and what should be expected of him. Just let him play, let him succeed and fail as he's doing. And honestly, he's not really failing. He may have failed a couple of games recently, but last night was not a failed game for him. Seriously, if you go look at his stats and the way he played a good game. It's just not to the level that everybody thinks he should be playing at, which is so stupid. Sue's saying, I love that so many rap fans go and take over the arena in Detroit. I know they were good ones too. I kept seeing them and I'm like, yes, you go. You're awesome. OG, OG. And it really pisses off Pistons fans. They're like, why are there so many fans taking over our building from Canada? And they're like, and like, where are our fans? We're the real ones for them. Well, if you had real ones, you would have them show up and be there, but you don't. Even that arena wasn't that full. So don't get mad, diehard Pistons freak, because your fan base is not that enthusiastic about your team like our fan base is. And that really is the difference right there. Plus, we have all of Canada. So Windsor is technically part of our territory, and that's real close. That might as well be a suburb of Detroit. And that's why all these people get over there. They opened the border. When the border was closed, y'all didn't have this problem. The border's open, and now we're coming. And it's even funny too. This summer, I heard Detroit fans talking about how can we make it so we can't sell any tickets to anybody who has a Canadian area code or address. That they really wanted the Pistons company, the Pistons team, to block Canadian people from being able to buy tickets to their arena. They want to make money, motherfucker. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit. So you really want to block us out? You go get your Pistons fans and you buy up all the tickets and you fill that arena up with your own fans, and then you won't have this problem. The Pistons are going to sell tickets to Canadians all they want because they need the revenue. So yeah, you either get all your people together and buy them all up and freeze us out that way, but no, you're not going to do that. We're going to get those tickets and we're going to be showing up. We will be there every single time. I love it. I love it so much. Let's see. Fun guy saying, I saw so many of my Windsor people and had to message people. I haven't even seen it like 5 years on Facebook because I saw them on TV. That's awesome. So you saw your friends on the television at the game from Windsor, and you're like, oh yeah, there's Rick. I haven't seen Rick in forever. Holy crap! That reminds me, I need to call Rick and see how he's doing. Stuff like that. That's awesome, fun guy. I love that. Raymond saying it was a close game though. Pistons caught up and my heart rate rose all through the fourth. It was a little dangerous. It was a little scary. Sure, this was a Cali stress meter kind of game, but I really kind of felt like we were controlling the whole time, and I had an ultimate confidence in us. That there's certain things that we do really well at the end of the game that other teams don't do as well in some ways, and I really like how we do those things, and that's part of our culture, is closing out games and winning. That is part of in our character as a team. Some teams have the opposite. They're really good for most of the game, but they fall apart in the last 5 minutes and they allow other teams to just overpower them and win games at the end of the game. Well, we have the opposite. We're that team that overpowers and wins games if we're down. So it was a kind of thing where it's like, yeah, sure, this is dangerous because they're getting closer and it's kind of battle. But if you're really watching it, you could see that the Raptors were in control the whole time, even though it seemed like they were getting closer. And it did seem a little stressful for a bit in there, for sure, Raymond Jacob. And especially after we last couple games, you're like, okay, are we writing another horror story tonight? Or are we going to be at the end of the game and Raymond Jacob's going to be coming in here in the morning saying that I jinxed them? Yeah, the possibility of that happening last night was there. But honestly, if you really looked at it from a perspective of controlling the game, who was playing a certain way, how much they were having to do so much to try and get to where they did to get close to us, we were going to control that game and win it. And a lot of it was like things like hitting all our free throws. Just, we did a lot of things really good. We played very well last night. So I had a lot of confidence in us. And they didn't have a lot of veterans on the other side. They had Bogdanovich, but like I said, he's not a defensive leader. He's only like an offensive leader, and he's really kind of a one-sided kind of offensive leader. So it's like they don't have a lot of weapons and like a lot of versatility like we do. That's the difference between the Pistons and us. We have skills and versatility and a lot of gifts, super ultra talented. And they may have guys that are more role players that are very like one-dimensional kind of guys. Like Beef Stew's great, but Beef Stew only does certain things for them. That like Scotty Barnes can do everything for us. Well, Beef Stew can only do certain things. Bogdanovich can only do certain things. Jaden Ivey can only do certain things. Meanwhile, our guys are way more well-rounded and they can do all kinds of different things in different places. And that's a big difference in our makeup between us and the Pistons, is they have a lot of role players and we have guys that are like versatile, all-around good players. Let's see. Lolita saying Raptors fan base show up. So proud of all the fans cheering the Canada's team. Yes, it was weird. It was awesome. I love it. I just love it. I know that people get really irritated with it. You think those Pistons fans that love Cade Cunningham think he should have won Rookie of the Year like anything that happened last night? No, they did not. And in fact, they're probably part of the people that are doubling down and coming after Scotty this morning. Oh, you're that guy won Rookie of the Year. Look how garbage he is. He only got 8 points and stuff like all that stupid shit they're saying right now. Monique saying OG's massive dunk, man. It would be nice if we could build on this win. Hello. Yeah, we need to build on this win. This Miami game is going to be tough, but Miami is not as good as they were last year, and they're really gettable, and we may have their number in some ways. I think they're so much smaller this year that we can really bully them, and we need to do this tomorrow. I want to hear some of our guys get healthy today and tomorrow in time to be able to play for the game. Fred in particular, we really want to see Freddie play tomorrow, and I'd be real nice if Gary returned also in this game. So those two and Otto, we get those 3 guys back for tomorrow. We'll be in good shape. But I do want to see Fred back for sure. Fred, you need to come back tomorrow. Please come back tomorrow. Oh my gosh, we need you back. Let's see. Leslie's saying last night's game reminded me of the Blue Jays fans taking over the Seattle Mariners ballpark. Windsor Raptors fans give us a home court advantage. They're not even just all from Windsor. Like I said, they could be from Hamilton. They could be coming from London. They could be coming from Waterloo. They could be coming from anywhere around in Southern Ontario. Hell, they may have driven from Toronto. There was a lot of them probably straight from Toronto that went down there. But yeah, there was such a good contingency there. And I was so pleased and happy to see that. It was just so heartwarming as a Raptor freak. Patrick Douglas saying, we're nice Raptor freaks. We have a bench. We have a bench. I have my eyes on Hernandez, Hernan Gomez. He's going to be very useful come playoffs. Scotty is nice. We're not listening to naysayers. We're nice. Yeah, I love everything you're saying here, Patrick. We are in good shape. What is the status report for our team and our culture and our franchise and where we're going? It's very good. Smooth sailing. We have rough waters. We have some injuries. We have some difficult games and we have some tough losses. But listen, the future is so bright. We're just like that 10 Buck 3 song. We got to wear shades. It's like that's how it is right now. Our future's so bright. We gotta wear shades. Yeah, because things are real good, real good. And I like that you're looking at Hernan Gomez and thinking about him in the playoffs. That is one of the reasons why we have him, is that he's a pressure tested kind of player that's played in really big games internationally, and he's played in games in the NBA in the past, that this dude has experience. And he's the kind of guy that we may be able to depend on in a playoff situation with playoff intensity to not fuck up. And I like that. I like that you're thinking ahead like that, Patrick. Nameless is saying it's so unfair to scrutinize Scotty right now. When you're missing Pascal and Fred, who do so much on and off the ball, which allows Scotty to flourish, he is not a bust. His environment changed quickly. And he's honestly not playing badly. I already looked at his stat line. I can go over it over and over again. 4 for 9 is fine. He's not shooting horrible. He could. I wish he'd made that 3. It would have shut a lot of people up. He did only take 1 3, but look, he didn't try and keep chucking it. He just didn't have it from outside, so he focuses on going down low and getting easier baskets near the paint. And he even had a little post move that looked so overpowering, like he was to the left of the basket in the middle of the lane, and he just turned and he made that little shot and went right in. That's more of what's to come, y'all. That is like a little taster, an appetizer of the future. Of what you're going to see Scotty do more and more was that little jump hook move that he did in the lane last night that went right through the basket. That is what we're going to see more of. It's just you guys want it so quick and right now, so much of it. We'll give it some time. You're going to see it more and more, and it's going to be very consistent. And he will flourish. I agree with Nameless. He will flourish. He is not a bust. Y'all are going to find out real quick. All these stupid ass people are going to say he's a bust right now, and they're going to look real stupid in like a year or two. Watch. Monique's saying more minutes for Dowtin, please. How can you not? A steady Dowtin. Dowtin is steady. He's really, really cool. And I really like him on this team. He does some certain things that are like typical point guard kind of things that we really like. And he's really all over the place. Like he's an energy guy. Like you notice he is all out. And he is just everywhere. And I love that about him. He really covers ground quickly. And he just seems like he's smart. Like he gets involved in passing lanes and he does different things that are intelligent. as far as moving his body quickly and doing the right things and being in the right spots. So I really like that about Jeff Dowtin. It shows a high basketball IQ. And then when you mix a high basketball IQ with consistency, look out. That's the kind of bench player we've been crying out for in Toronto for years. And that's why I'm with you, Monique. We need more minutes for Jeff Dowtin Jr. Seymour saying Dowtin, Banton, OG, 3 stars. OG Dunk was cray. So Seymour really liked Jeff Dowtin, and he's put him in with his 3 stars. It's obvious Delano Banton is one of the 3 stars of the game, and OG is a great pick too. Great 3 stars, Seymour. I actually like it. Shane Waters is saying Detroit has gotten smaller. They're giving up a lot of paint points this year. Yeah, they look smaller. They just don't look that scary. I know they look way different when Cade's available, and he is a huge reason why I was not worried about them last night. If they had Cade Cunningham in the game last night, they might have won, because he may have been that little bit extra push that where Raymond got stressed out, that Cade might have been the dude who actually could have taken them home to overcoming us. So I was real happy when Cade wasn't there. And Corey Joseph not playing after all really helped also. I think that would have helped them immensely, just having his veteran kind of leadership and guiding things like a steady Freddie would. For them would have helped. So they didn't have their 2 best point guards, their 2 best floor general leaders available for them last night. And you saw Killian Hayes, and that is a young kid. And you saw they were able to like strip the ball from him and do different things to him that normally, he's not as good at point guard. In fact, I picked him up on my fantasy team. I don't know. I think I'm going to drop him already because he's not going to really get to play that much. It's just while Cade's out. Let's see. Patrick's saying my stars are the team. They had each other's backs. If I name anybody, I feel like I'm being unfair to other people because they all did well. I love this philosophy, Patrick Douglas. It's no problem with that. It was a collective. It was a whole. It's all of their efforts together. It's no individual stat matters. The team stats matter the most. When you look at Raptors box scores, who cares what Gary did? Who cares what Scotty did? Who cares what Pascal did? Just look at the team stats. Did they shoot well overall as a team? Did they make their free throws? Did they out-rebound the team? Did they get a lot of assists? That's what we should be looking at more, because basketball is a team sport, and everybody hung up on everybody's individual stats. Shut the fuck up. Yes. Nameless is saying Scotty's looking like what Cade, Suggs, and Mobley would look like on an average team right now. The same reason why Kawhi looks so good in Toronto. Reserved. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's weird because guys get better and go down at different levels at different times. Like, Cade has struggled too. Mobley has struggled too. Mobley's looked like absolute garbage at times this season so far. And I want them to know that these people are coming after them for just as much of a sophomore slump. Cade has had a couple duds this season. And, Suggs has looked really good more recently, but he was a dud last year. And then Mobley's been having worse games than Scotty's been having recently, and he's not getting any of this criticism like Scotty is right now. It's ridiculous. And the other thing about Scotty is he could have a poor shooting game, and he's absolutely helped in so many other ways on the court. And whereas somebody like one of these other guys, they don't have a very good shooting game. Well, they may not be doing a whole lot otherwise. Like maybe Mobley's doing good low post defense and rebounding, but actually there's stats that show that Mobley's not a good defender for Cleveland, that when they just play Jared Allen, they have the best defense for Cleveland, and Mobley's not even in the court. They showed all the stats the other day. They say Jared Allen by himself out there is a better defensive outcome for the Cleveland Cavaliers than when Mobley's standing next to him. That doesn't make any sense, but in some ways it does, maybe. Let's see. Raymond's saying, I wish Thad would stick closer to his man on D. He's kind of late closing out on those threes. Well, maybe that's fine. Like last night, once again, it's Detroit. They were shooting pretty bad. They were causing a lot of turnovers. So we needed to win this game for sure. And that sometimes is the water level and what the settings of the game are, that you could be ugly, but the other team's uglier. And then you definitely win. But we played pretty game last night. But they were not playing that well in some ways, Detroit. They had a lot of ugliness on their side, the things that would be pissing me off if I was the Pistons freak. Let's see. But I don't know about Thaddeus with that. Closing out on the threes. I wish Thad would stick close to his man on D. He's smart, and he understands the players that he's playing against probably better. And maybe that's a player that he's like, I don't respect their three, and I can lay off them, but I still need to run out at them to bug his shot when they shoot it. It could be that's part of the equation with why he may be laying off him. Also, he's not supposed to be really a perimeter defender for the most part. He really is kind of a glue center defender, like anchor to the defense. So when he comes out on the perimeter, it's probably because he's just trying to make a rotation because it switched that way, and he's running out at the last minute anyway, just because it all switched and went over to this side of the court, and it's just he's rotating, and that's why he's coming. Cool Cat saying, I like our vets coming off the bench to help our youngins and empower them throughout the games. The power of our vets will be used more in the playoffs for sure. For sure. And they'll be so valuable. And this is something we could have maybe really used last year, right from the start of the year, Goran Dragic. But anyway, time goes on and we're okay. Callie's saying, I was getting nervous at the end as we deserved the win. So happy for Banton. Yeah, Callie had her stress meter a little bit. I hope you weren't cussing too much, putting money in the swear jar or anything like that. Yeah, it was a little nerve wracking, but for some reason, I had a really supreme confidence in them to get this because there was so much on the line. Like Chris Boucher said, they're sick of hearing this bullshit about Casey. And that if they had fallen apart and Detroit had won at the end of the game, oh my gosh, just think of all the stupid shit people would be saying about Casey's revenge, Casey's C word, and all this stuff. And they would have been like, we were winning the whole game and then we fell apart and they won. We are obviously C worded. I'm like, no, fuck that shit. That was big motivation, I'm sure, and part of this. It's just to change the narrative as far as when we play Detroit. Isaac Campbell saying Malachi deserves a star too. He has set the tone in the last two games, coming in first off the bench. He's provided important ball handling and some timely scoring early in the game. Yeah, I won't disagree with this. Let's see, 15 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point land, made all of his free throws, all 4, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, +8, 12 points. Yeah, not bad. Solid. The thing I like to look at with Malachi, because really what his role is he's a scorer. We need him to fill it up. We need him to score baskets. We need him to be one of these guys that gets baskets when nobody else can score on our team. So the stat that if anybody wants to be nitpicky and really kind of look and see how good he's doing is look at his points per minute. And if he's got he's played 15 minutes last night, he got 12 points. That's pretty damn good. We want him to be as close to a point a minute as possible. And in fact, if he can have more points than minutes played, that is absolutely fantastic. So with him, it's field goal percentage. If he's shooting 50% or just below, and then how many points does he have per minute? If he has very close to the same amount of points to the minutes played, then he's had a successful game, in my opinion, as far as Malachi is concerned. Monique saying, to some of you who want Bo Cruz gone already, shut up. Shut the fuck up. That's from Monique. If you don't like Juancho Hernangomez, he's fantastic. I love that little roll that he did to the basket and how Thad found him. And it was just like he guided the ball and just laid it in. That's a fantastic move. And that's not a move that Steve Mahalik can do, y'all. So there's a difference right there that, he can be a pick and roll and be the roller and do a really nice finish. Catching the ball and getting it finished. So I'm really happy with Juancho. He's just take some time. He's going to reveal more and more. And you guys are going to there's going to be some plays with Juancho this year, and people are going to be like, wow, I didn't even realize he was that talented. You're going to see that. You're going to feel that. Y'all need to remember this man is the man who was Bo Cruz in the movies. And Bo Cruz doesn't exist as a real person. But that is still the same body and the same kind of talent and athletic person. In some ways, he can do some of it, but he can't do it at the level that it seemed like in the movie. Let's see. Raymond Jacobs saying, we do got a lot of ballers now. I'm for who is ever not shooting well. Put someone else in who can, like bench Gary if he isn't hot. Yes, I'm completely with this. And this is great because this is why we have such a good roster and so many guys on our team is because we have so many guys get hurt. We need guys to be able to step up and be capable and do well. And if anything, their success makes tough decisions for Nick Nurse when guys come back. But it also has a body of work that it can inform him about, well, Juancho did this when everybody was out, and maybe I can get him out there and he can do more of this for us. Or Thaddeus is doing this. Maybe we should develop this more with him at the high post, being like a point forward and doing some Marc Gasol kind of guiding of traffic, directing traffic like the traffic cop that Marc Gasol was for us at the high post with passing. I really want to look at this more. And once again, I want Scotty to get with Thaddeus. It's like Thaddeus is showing a lot of skills recently that Scotty needs to get really good at. Like if he's a good high post passer, like Thaddeus is, if he's a good low post, I can make all these shots, like by putting my shoulder into you and just putting it over you. Those are two areas in particular that if Scotty listens to Thad and really like goes under his tutelage, this will be so fruitful and good for him in the future as an NBA player in the years to come. So be like Thad. Scotty, go and learn from Thaddeus. I really feel like he may be the one guy on this team that you need to duplicate and emulate the most. The low post stuff and that passing at the high post. You can already kind of do that passing at high post, but he could definitely teach you little tips of the trade that can make it even better and easier for you. So I really like this idea that Thaddeus is teaching Scotty as a student, because a lot of what Thaddeus does really well as a very, very veteran pro can very much be transferred and put into Scotty in his repertoire. And he could be very good learning this stuff, being like a young Padawan underneath him. That's teaching Scott this kind of this and this, and boom, all of a sudden we see him looking more and more like capable and consistent like Thaddeus is in those areas also. I really want to see it. I really want to see it. Evelyn's saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew, and good morning to all Raptors bashers. She's so kind. She's saying good morning to us, and then to all the people that we kind of were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? One of the best nights watching our team. Let's go Raptors. Yes, Granny Evelyn. Thank you, Evelyn, for being here. We love you, and we're so happy to always have you here in the chat. Let's see. Raymond Jacobs saying, what happened to Otto? Did he get injured? Only saw him in the first. He did get injured. Is something to do with his foot. It could be that he had something where he landed on somebody was underneath him, or he just twisted it just slightly. But yeah, he had to leave the game, and he was injured last night. That is right. What happened, Raymond Jacob? Yeah, and hopefully it's a very small little thing, and he won't miss much time or anything. Because we need him. We need all the bodies we can have. Cool Cat saying, great. Scotty is in the fire, same way as Pascal. Great for his development while winning. Pressure makes diamonds. Scottier diamonds. Scotty learning about the BS trolls and fake fans did to every one of our players. That's right. And hopefully he doesn't hear this noise. Seriously. And that's why he needs to wait till he comes back to Twitch. He really needs to wait and have some success himself to shut these people up, because they're going to come in there and talk all this stupid trash to him if he tries and gets on Twitch right now. He could try and get on there today because they're back in town and they're off. He very much could try and get on there today, and he may find that fans are being very weird towards him. And I don't want to do that. I want to be there for him. I'll be on Twitch Watch today. And if he does get on there, I'll be defending his ass in there, because I know some people are going to come at him with some stupid shit if he does get on there today. So we'll have to see if he gets on there. It is after a win, and he may be feeling pretty good, and he may want to do that today. It's an off day. He'll be back here in Toronto. So the settings are right for him to be on, playing Scottier Diamonds. You're getting hardened through the fire, and he is definitely doing that. And that is one of his nicknames, Diamonds, Scotty Diamonds. And maybe that is his nickname that we need to start calling him, Scotty Diamonds, because, that may be a good nickname for him because of what Cool Cat just described. He's going through the fire. He's being tested like a lump of coal, and he's being hardened into a diamond. That maybe Scottier Diamonds is the right nickname for him. He puts it on his NBA 2K23 as his player's name, Scottier Diamonds, and he's getting hardened in the real life game to become a diamond himself. So that's an interesting nickname idea concept. Nameless is saying, fun fact, Canada captured and annexed the state of Michigan during the Bicentennial War, but we gave that shit back after as a token of peace. I love this, Nameless. You just put in like a little Canadian history fun fact for us. I really feel like this is a heritage moment. Maybe they have this commercial on there, Canadian heritage moments. The Raptors fans took over Little Caesars Arena, and then they gave it back to them after the game, very much like the Bicentennial War when Canadians took over parts of Michigan and gave it back. That's just the Canadian tradition. Take over a chunk of Michigan and then give it back to them at the end of the game. We did go all the way to the White House and burn it down once. I heard that too. Randolph Phillips is saying, "Thank you guys, much love." All love and respect to you, Randolph, and I hope that things are, things are good, and always still condolences to you and your family in this tough time. And I hope you're adjusting and finding solace in these wins in the Raptors, and just finding love and peace and harmony in your life with your loved ones and the people around you in this trying time. I know you're still in mourning. And all the best to you, Randolph Phillips, as always. Cool Cat saying Dalano played tonight like he did at FIBA America. He was the guy at the tournament, scouted for it, and the game was more physical. And so now NBA has more space for him. Juancho Pascal will be great. Yeah, this is a big part of it. And it may be that Delano can't do this against every team in the NBA. It's just that a lesser team like the Pistons in this settings is not that far off from things that he was doing at G League or America. Now, I'm not saying that's not a diss to the Pistons. I'm just saying that like their team is not, maybe it is, at the level as most NBA teams in some ways. In fact, because they have so many young players, it could be a little bit similar to like a G League team as far as the experience and like just cleaned up basketball. So this may have been a particular game where Delano will thrive like this and take over and do this because of the players that we were playing, and that his experience from the America and G League really, really did inform and help him, because he's like, oh, well, this is just kind of like this game last year against the Delaware Blue Coats when I did this and I took over and boom, I had like 46 points and like 10 assists. Like he did. He had like 40-point games at the G League level, completely dominating and being the man. And that's what I'm saying. What is this brain exercise? I think, and what if Scott had went down there and did that? Like gone down to 905 last season and dominated and had like 50-point games down there, triple double games with like 20 rebounds, 50 points, and like 15 assists. Well, that may have made him feel more like I can be the man on the NBA level because I've done this on the G League level. And it's just a little step above that, like Delano did last night. All right, let's see. Leslie saying, I was so happy to see everyone step up. Delano, Thad, OG. This lets me know if the Raptor team can win without Fred and Pascal, we will be in a decent place. It may be also the team we're playing and stuff. Like if this is a team that's a lot better, this may have been harder to win with the personnel we had last night. So it really is a setting by setting, night by night basis of who's available and where we're at with what's going on with our team, with the ebbs and flows of our team. And the other team also, it matters where they're at and what's going on with them as well. Cade Cunningham being out was very key and helpful to us last night for sure. And we're not in the best place health wise, but we're still making the best of things. That's the important thing. Mike's here. Salute Real Ones, Project Truth always. Thank you, Logical Raptors Fanatic. As always, check out Logical Raptors Fanatics YouTube channel. Always good content, very insightful, informative stuff. Some stat crunching, some just insight, some trend watching, some predictions, all kinds of stuff like that. Mike will give you on his channel. I appreciate you, Mike. And I always love seeing your little NBA Larry O'Brien trophy with the Raptor on it. I love that image, and it's one of the best out there. I love it. Callie saying, I'm so impressed with Boucher. He has matured and is always willing to reflect on his game. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Boucher is quite the journey as an NBA player. He's won some championships early in his career, but now it's really that he's grown into his own like body and his style and his role and who he is. And he's very confident. And we just see something different about him. Like he's so aggressive on the boards. He's like really confident with his shot, as we saw last night. And that's fantastic. This is so good. He really is such a great bench player for us. And I just love him as a leader on our team also. It's a weird byproduct of it that this season, more than ever, we're seeing guys like Pascal and Chris step up and be more like leaders on the team. That they really weren't those kind of guys most of their careers so far. And now they really are kind of like leaders on their team in ways that they weren't before. Sure, Pascal was a leader as stat wise, but he's actually becoming like a leader, like the typical word leader on the team. And Chris is also doing that. And that's something that I didn't actually predict, that Chris Boucher would ever kind of grow into a leadership role and who he is at this point. I always thought he'd be kind of a certain level and kind of like not really that wanting to take that mantle of being a leader on the team. but he wants it and he's doing really good. And he is obviously a leader. He's a bench leader. He's a leader of our bench in some ways. Skater Dylan's here. Good to see Celtics fan. Victor to Pistons, calling it now. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It could be very well be this that like Casey's like idiots. I don't care about winning this game. I'm trying to win Victor. It's like, thank you, Raptors. Yeah, let's just go ahead and lose the Raptors. Let's just end all this. But my whole main focus and what I care about is that this Pistons team does not win a lot of games so that we can get Victor at the end of the year. I think the Skater Dylan might be right. That on the download, the Pistons don't care about being very good because that would be a real boon and a boost to them if they landed Victor. So I was thinking that too at the end of the game. At one point, I was like, maybe Casey really wants to get Victor, and he's like, he don't give a shit this year. It may very well be that. I mean, the way they're starting, the way they're going, that's pretty smart thinking in some ways. Yeah, I could see this. Detroit may be trying to get the Victor sweepstakes. I could very much see this. Yeah, facepalm. Sue saying, agree with Callie. I always enjoy his post game interviews. Yeah, Chris is awesome. He doesn't mince words and he's very open. Apparently, they're doing another one of these shows with him and Will Liu. Monique has posted a promo for a thing you can go to. The public is open to the public. You can go and watch this. It's going to be a live podcast with Will Liu and Chris Boucher. And I don't know exact date or the location, but be on the lookout for this. That this is something that's happening, I think, at the end of November. I think it's around the 29th. And you can go and be in the audience for a live taping of a podcast with Will Liu. I guess it's the Raptors show, maybe. It's the live taping the Raptors show with Will Liu and Chris Boucher being there together. We know their history. It's fun. As Isaac Campbell saying, Banton also matured while leading Team Canada this summer, not just 905. Maybe we just need more Canadians playing. 3 stars last night. Banton, Boucher, Canadian fans in Detroit. Okay, so Isaac very much towing the Canadian line. In fact, let me get somebody who wants to say something about this real quick. Hello, Isaac Campbell. I would like to commend you on your Canadian content with your 3 stars of the night. I really think it's awesome that you're showing appreciation for Dalano Banton and his excellent play last night. And then also Chris Boucher, very underrated and awesome off the bench. Another Canadian, very proud of him. And then the fans, wow, what great 3 stars. Isaac Campbell, you get the best Canadian award on this live stream today from me, Justin Beaver, Canadian content supervisor of the Raptor Street channel. Thank you. Oh, and one more thing, guys. Did you know that Alexi is my son? All right, Leslie's saying every one of our young, inexperienced players should play at least 1 year for 905. Can't be the president in year 1. I wanted him to go down there at least just once. I mean, sometimes a rookie will get hurt and they'll go down there just to get a rehab game, just to get kind of their legs underneath them. It's kind of very much like, baseball or something. Like when a guy's hurt, they don't just start at like the major league level right back. They go down to AAA and have a couple of warm-up games to get themselves back up. And that maybe at times when Scott missed time, maybe they needed to send him down there just to have a warm up game to get ready to come back. And that doesn't really take away the whole status of not being a 905, being a G leaguer. That means no, that's a rehab game because he was hurt and maybe just gets a taste down there. We saw Yuta go down there. We've seen Svi go down there last year. And that's the kind of thing that I was thinking about with him, that sometimes it's just good to give him a taste. And that, the confidence that he could build from going down there and just absolutely killing everybody down there could be really, really, really useful. I'm wondering about this with Christian this year. Like, is he actually going to go down to the 905 or not, Nick? Because you haven't sent him down there yet. And I think that in some ways you're showing your hand already that he's not going to be going to the 905 like Dalano and those guys, and that he will be more like Scotty and not have to go down there at all. But that may be bad for him because he's not going to get like huge amounts of minutes on the main roster, whether it's foul trouble or just your decisions. So I don't know. I think it's very valuable, especially since he's a 2nd-round pick and he's not really going to be in the rookie of the year running, that Koloko goes down to 905 for sure. For a lot of these reasons that Leslie's saying right here, that our young players just need to go down there and get a taste of feeling that confidence and dominating at that level. And that if they don't get that chance, then maybe we see struggles like what Scotty's going through right now because he's just only played at the NBA level. Monique saying news. Damon Stoudemire rocking the new Mitchell and Ness OVO 1995 jacket. Yeah, this is funny to me. Damon, who is employing you right now? You're on the Celtics. How does Celtics Nation feel about you rocking the throwback Raptors purple jacket right now? Really? I mean, we need to go show this to people over there. Maybe we can start some dumpster fires in Celtics Nation with their fans getting all upset with Damon Stoudemire. Some of us, we need to do the work that they do against us. Go in there, infiltrate Boston Celtics fan spaces, and spam that fucking picture all over the place. See how people feel about Damon Stoudemire, and maybe they get real upset and they're like, "Fuck this guy, we don't want him on our team," and then they just causes more problems with their coaching staff that they already have huge problems with their coaching staff. I don't know. That could be a really insidious way that a fan base can infiltrate another fan base and maybe cause some waves. Maybe this is the kind of thinking that some other fan bases have when they come to our fan base and try and cause waves. That this is actually something that could cause some waves on Boston Celtics fan base. So maybe we need to take this picture of Damon Stoudemire wearing Raptors gear right now as an assistant coach of the Celtics. That may be very smart by some Raptors fans that are out there that enjoy trolling people. So go do that, trolls, for the Raptors Nation. Go troll Boston Celtics Nation with that picture of Damon. Those fingers are going crazy. I know. That's how you know we're really spinning the ideas around in our head. The fingers are symbolic of that. So funny. All right. I see there's an impersonation. I'll get up to it. All right, let's see. Mike saying, Ibaka replied to my comment on how hungry are you. Ibaka replied, hit me like, wow. What did you write, Mike? I want to know more about this. I watched. All right, listen, we can talk about this whole thing that he asked Giannis about playing for the Raptors, and he said false. He said, no, he will not ever play for us down the road, and that's fine. This is the way he should be. Because honestly, I love that Giannis is going to be a Milwaukee Buck for life because we want him to do this. Listen, I'm sure we would have loved to have him on this side of the board. Masai wanted him over here, of course. But in some ways, it's so good that he's sticking loyal to a small market team. And it's the other thing is forget about us trying to covet him and get him over here. Think about teams like the Knicks, the Bulls, the Lakers. These big established teams are going to try. They want him too. Well, if he just picks the Bucks and stays true to the Bucks, I'll be so happy because it'd be such a throwback. It's like Stockton Malone. It's like Larry Bird with the Celtics. It's like Reggie Miller with the Indiana Pacers. You stick with one team your whole career, and you just have that kind of feel. That's the way the NBA was awesome. The Giannis is a Buck, and he should be a Buck for his career. That didn't hurt me when he said that to Serge. In fact, I was very happy he said that because he's being true and loyal to a small market team that he plays for. That so many times players are not loyal to their small market team and they get the fuck out of there at the first chance. So I have a lot of respect for Giannis and what he said to him. But I'm more curious to see what the interaction between Mike and Baca was. He just liked your comment. I want to know what the comment was. Or he replied to it too. That's interesting. Cool Cat, I watched that interview with Cabby and Serge with the Smokes Pertunery. That was a weird, awkward interview, and I could tell that Cabby was making Serge feel very awkward, and with some, he was trying to play this whole weird double entendre thing with like his words, and Cabby just kind of came off as kind of gross. It's like, leave Serge alone. Like, what is wrong with these interviewers? Like, Kate Burness is giving OG the third degree about going to the zoo. And then Cabby is like making all these, like, it seemed like he was flirting with him and like trying to like get in his pants or something. Like some of the things he said, like this, when he's talking about the penis, like very like, Cabby, I know you're trying to be funny, but it's like you're making Serge feel uncomfortable. It's so stupid. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying, beware, not everyone complaining is a fan. There are trolls and want to cause havoc and ruin the reputation. Our team is a global phenomenon. That's a price of success. Yeah. Cool Cat's very informed and understands this, that a lot of the trolls and the negative naysayers, the people like this, they're not necessarily Raptors fans. They may say they are. They may be casual Toronto sports fans, but they may be more hockey fan, or they may be U.S. fans that are masquerading as Raptors fans, and they just want to cause havoc. Exactly what Cool Cat's saying. This is important for all of us to realize. I think this is true with anything, or even not just Raptors basketball, that with politics and with different things online, you can kind of go and if you see somebody posting something like, all right, here's one for perfect one. There is a bot machine out there that is churning out tweets right now that says, I can't help but keep refreshing my timeline to see if the Raptors have traded for Kevin Durant yet. You guys may have seen this tweet on Twitter, and you've seen it by like 10 or 12 different automated bot accounts. So somebody's paying to have a bot accounts put out this bullshit about a trade for Kevin Durant coming to Toronto over and over again. And one of the things that's so dumb about it is that this isn't possible to happen until January. So it's like if you're refreshing your Twitter stream to see if it's happened yet, well, this is not the time where it realistically could happen. You're just refreshing to be stupid. But then if you see that same exact tweet, but with different automated accounts, like they're not real accounts, they're bot accounts, that they just put the same thing out. That's the kind of stuff that things are happening in politics, and also in like what we're talking about with sports and teams and like fan nations. So there's literally people just paying automated bots to put out bullshit about a trade with Kevin Durant in Toronto right now. And you can go see them. So when you see comments on Facebook or Twitter, go investigate the account and see if it looks like there's actually a real person behind it. You may be shocked and find out that it's like just some made up picture and it's not a real person. There's a lot of these kind of accounts on Facebook and Twitter at this point. And they're like Russian troll bots, is basically like some of them are Russian, or they're just bots, troll bots from here, So that's a lot of what this is that's going on right now. And Cool Cat is making us more aware. And that's how it works. Somebody wants to push a narrative and they want to make it seem like it's popular. Well, they'll pay for likes. They'll pay for bots to come in. Like one of the things you could tell in the beginning of Biden's presidency, there were people paying a lot of money to make him look bad in his live streams. When he'd come out and talk, there would be already automatically when you come on, there would be like all these laughs emojis or like mad emojis and not more likes. And that was basically automated stuff from Russia coming in and making it look like nobody liked what he was saying. And then all the comments underneath would be like automated trolls just making bullshit comments against Biden. And that was very much rich people paying somebody to have a computer, a bot farm come after him. So this kind of bot farm kind of propaganda pushing around, it's happening in sports too. And we got to be aware of that. Monique is saying, if you had to guess tomorrow who returns and what changes from Nick Nurse, I'm going to hope Fred, Gary, and Otto are all available tomorrow. Those three. We won't have Pascal and Precious. But those three, if we can get all three of them, that'd be fantastic. If we can get 2 out of the 3, that's pretty good. But if we only get 1 of them, that's all right. But I'd really like to get at least 2 of them back. I'd like to get Fred and Gary back the most, but Otto wouldn't hurt either, too. And changes, I don't know. We're going to be playing Miami again. So it's really kind of the changes from when we played them before. And if we look at that series, when we played them down in Miami already, we lost the first game, but really was because it was the second night of a back-to-back on a travel night. And then the second game, we came out and kicked their ass. And that's more likely what's likely to happen in this game tomorrow night, because we'll have rest and we'll be at home. And they really needed us to be in a bad place because we traveled from Brooklyn the night before for us to lose the first game we played against Miami this season. So let's see. Mike's saying, if I had a troll tell me in the Lakers channel Scotty Barnes is overrated and all hype, I cooked him quick time. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And they want to believe this because some people were really hurt by him winning the Rookie of the Year. Like, seriously, like somebody hurt them that, oh, Scotty won Rookie of the Year. And it makes me so mad because Cade didn't win or Evan didn't win or Franz. So that's where a lot of the hate towards Scotty comes from, is people that love these other guys who could have won Rookie of the Year and they didn't. Yeah, I hope you cooked him. I'm sure you did. You cooked him with that little Scotty dribble between his legs kind of move that he does these days. I hope you did cook him. Nameless is saying, impersonation, Malachi Flynn's father on his son's recent minutes. All right, here we go. I love this. I love this, and Nameless is doing it. Give me Nick Nurse. Hello? Nick, hey, it's Eric. Eric Flynn. Yeah, Malachi's dad, of course. Yeah. Listen, I just wanted to call you and thank you for playing Malachi lately, more recently. Well, see, you get what you get. You see, I told you can shoot. He's great. You should have been playing him 2 years ago. Well, all right, but just keep playing him, please, Nick. You see what you're getting, all right? I don't want to have to call you Nick Nursery. All right, Nick. Have a good day. Bye. I don't know. Andrew Bishop saying morning freaks. Mike saying he was actually really a Houston fan, laughing my ass off, saying that the Celtics are birthing a dynasty talk. I put the brakes on that quick. Nice, Mike. Nice. Well, Houston fan would be like Jalen Green person. I don't know. The fan nations are so weird and what they get mad about and what they care about and stuff. Of course, a lot of them are against us because we're the Canadian team, but whatever. Cowboys saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I'm glad you touched on Jeff. When I see him on Ivy, I was thinking the whole time, if he can defend Ivy, he can handle Maxey. Yes. Yes, I believe this too. Like I know some people have said they don't think that Jeff Dowtin can play defense very well, but I don't agree with that. I think that it's like he's very aggressive and maybe he fouls too much, and that may be part of the problem with his defense. But he's very good at keeping up with guys, and he's definitely not like lazy. He's all over the place. Like we saw him darting all over the place. In fact, I like how he kind of moved around on the court when he was out there because it reminded me of Yuta last year with stirring the drink. It's kind of like even though he doesn't have the ball, he's always in motion. He's kind of cutting this way or this way. That kind of sometimes stirs the pot around, and by a byproduct, it opens something up for one of the other guys, even though he doesn't touch the ball. It's just like he moved through and guys had to move and kind of move with him. And then boom, all of a sudden, like Thad sees something because he cut through and he's hitting Scotty. And then he gets a layup because Jeff kind of came through already and kind of stirred it up. And I like that he moves a lot off the ball on offense. And he's always seems like he's moving. You don't see Jeff Dowtin standing around too much when he's on the court. And I'd love to see him get a chance to try and shut down Maxey the next time we play Philadelphia. I'd love to see that matchup. Duke saying, in my opinion, Scotty had a good game. Many of his jumpers were in rhythm and good shots that just rimmed out. Next game, all of his shots might fall. I still think he's nursing his ankle as well. This could be true. And Nick did kind of say that it does seem like Scotty may be laboring a little bit, but it's not anything above average than the normal nagging NBA injuries that people get during the season. So sure, maybe he's not 100%. But maybe he's like 97%, and maybe there's just a little bit of something that's bothering him. And I think this is right, dude. That some of the shots he shot last night could have easily fell in, and his numbers would have looked better, and it would have shut more of these people up. And it's not that he's taking bad shots; it's just that some of them didn't go in. And he actually, like we said, he had a very solid stat line. The meat of the other stats was really good. He's getting steals, he's getting rebounds, he's getting assists. I mean, what more? I mean, if you want him to score too, but at least he's filling the stat sheet otherwise, also. And I say that that's just as important, especially when he's that kind of player like Giddey. They're these kind of guys that pass and rebound and do everything. Well, on some nights, Giddey may do have more assists and rebounds than points himself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Would they come after Josh Giddey in the same kind of way? Because in some ways, he's more similar to Giddey than he is to Evan Mobley. He's more similar to Cade Cunningham than he is to like Franz Wagner. That's what I'm saying. Scotty's more like Cade Cunningham and Josh Giddey than he is any of those other rookies. And in some ways, they are the ones he should be gauged against. Although Cade's not totally fair because he's more of a scoring point guard, but also a point guard at the same time. Monique saying Dalano post-game interviews were really nice. He's been talking to Savannah Hamilton all year. Like they have a rapport. Because she covered 905 last year and she did so many after game interviews with him. So that like them being at the after game interview last night was really like a 905 game last year. I was like, oh, this is just like 905 last year. Savannah's interviewing Dalano after the game, except this was on the main roster level, and both of them have elevated their games. You go Savannah Hamilton and Dalano Banton. Look at where y'all were a year ago, and look where you were last night. I love it. Let's see. Duke Rocks is saying, overall, the only reason the game was close was because we just shot the ball like crap. We all know OG shoots the ball better than that. I was getting annoyed by the refs with every reach and foul. Yeah, some of it was annoying and tough, but yeah, we could have shot way better. There's a couple of things we could tighten up. The one thing I will really say is, wow, what a great job on the free throw line. I can definitely say that they did not do a bad job at the free throw line. Fantastic job at the free throw line. Nameless is saying Koloko played great on the download last night too. I thought, you know what he did? He actually really did. He didn't play a whole lot. He had 17 minutes, but he was a plus two, 8 points. But the thing is, he didn't miss any of his shots. He was 4 for 4 at the free throw line. Once again, he was a big part of the great free throw shooting. And then he was 2 for 2 from the field goal. He was a perfect shooting performance last night. 2 offensive rebounds with two rebounds altogether. But those 2 offensive rebounds were his 2 baskets. That he basically found the ball in the lane, and this is a really smart thing that Koloko did last night. He didn't rush those putback shots. He took his time and he looked real good. He just took the shots like not right next to the basket. It's maybe that's where he needs to shoot from. It's like 2 or 3 feet away from the basket and not right next to the basket. Because if he has a little bit of room to operate, he can get above anybody and just like kind of flip the ball into the basket, really short shots. And that's what he made those 2 shots last night. And that was fantastic. I think you're right. The Koloko actually on the down low had a really good game last night too. It's just that he wasn't a lot, but very effective in the small little bit of time that he was. Duke's saying it tells you something when Nick Nurse has Dowtin out there to close a close game. Yes. Yes. Now, part of it is that Otto got hurt, and then Chris kind of took his spot with the starters that started, and he was kind of playing the meat of the minutes in the middle. But then later in the game, what happened was he brought Dowtin in with who was it? He brought him in with Wancho, I think, or somebody. He brought him in together, 2 guys at the same time. And Dowtin was a guy who stuck in there. Like in the first half, he actually played a 10-minute stretch, like straight. And I was like, wow, he really left Jeff Dowtin in for a long period of time. And I was kind of thinking, well, it's because he's playing really solid. And Nick likes everything he's doing. He's not messing up. He's doing good stuff. So he got some good burn. Well, he got enough rope and responsibility and trust that he closed the game last night. And that was actually on the down low a really effective thing to do because he controlled Ivy when Ivy possibly could have started like rising up and trying to win this game for them. In fact, Jaden Ivey, first time we ever saw him against the Raptors, had 21 points, 6 of 16 shooting, 8 of 10 from the field. 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and a steal. Pretty solid game. He was a +3 in a losing effort for the Pistons. He didn't shoot as well as he could have, but you know what? He's a good young rookie. He's going to be very interesting. He's got some hops. He really does have some hops. Let's see. Banton and Dowtin closing and looking good together isn't a good thing for Flynn. Not going to lie. Well, they're going to be different flavors of ice cream. You're going to get the different flavor ice cream with Malachi and Dalano and Jeff. They're all different flavors. And it really is going to be a luxury for Nick Nurse to be like, well, I need this a little bit more than I need this. That's Malachi. Oh, I need this a little bit more than I need this. That's Jeff. And then he can kind of choose for the situation. And that's a great luxury. You want to have different weapons in your toolbox to use for different things. And that, I mean, it could be that who knows who's going to get more minutes as the year goes on in different ways, but who knows? Anything could happen because I think Malachi actually has like bought a lot of good faith to be played way more, much like my Eric Flynn impression earlier. Nameless is saying Nurse has tremendous faith and doubt in the caliber of his play right now. Yeah. Yeah, well, he's just solid. He's just solid. Don't be doubting. Don't be doubting Scott. Don't be doubting the Raptors. Evelyn's saying, guys, just relax. Otto reminds me of Lionel Richie. Hello, hello. Is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are. And I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely? Or someone loving you? How to win your heart? For I haven't got a clue. So let me start by saying I love you. I'm sorry, I had to do that, Evelyn, just a little bit. I apologize if that was really bad. I can't hit those highs this morning. Oh my gosh, Lionel's not easy to sing though. In some ways, whoa, what a feeling, dancing on the ceiling. You know, Wilt Chamberlain, Lionel Richie, Some people used to say Danny Green looked like Lionel Richie too. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, guys look like guys. People look like different people. But I can get behind this. Lionel Richie, he's a classic. He's got some good songs. Say you, say me, say it together. That's the way it should be. I'm singing Lionel today. All right, let's see. Monique saying, if we can hold Butler and Lowry to 15 points, I'll be happy. And Caleb knows he will be booed, right? Oh, yeah. You just reminded me of something, Monique. Yeah, Caleb Martin's got some receipts to get heard from the Raptors fans tomorrow. We cannot let him forget that we're not happy with him for things that happened with Koloko in the game the other day. Yeah, for sure. I'm all about that. Yeah, Butler and Lowry. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to look at them tonight and I'll get a game plan for how we should play them tomorrow and hopefully beat them easily or have a good win over them. Yeah, I don't know what Lowry's been doing lately as far as like, is he playing very well and scoring, or is he just doing that stuff where he kind of shows up and gets like 10 assists and doesn't score anything? Something like that. I'll have to go see where he's at right now. Mike Sand laughing. When I hear Through the Fire, I pictured times with Guitar Hero, and the song Dragon Force on Expert is exactly like NBA Fire, trying to hit every note, everything. Dragon Force is an amazing band. I have a lot of respect for Dragon Force. They sound like they're sped up, but they are not. They are one of the fastest bands in the world. And I can understand what that level on Guitar Hero would be like just from listening to Dragon Force for years. That is insanity. That's probably is one of the hardest levels in that game. And I think this is a good apropos thing to put to Scott right now. He's trying to play Dragon Force on Guitar Hero. Last year he was playing Smoke on the Water. Sure. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. Now he's doing. That's the difference. It's dinosaurs to physics, y'all. He was learning dinosaur names last year, easy science stuff, and now he's trying to learn physics this year. That's the difference for Scotty Barnes and what his curriculum material is at this point. Last year was Ankylosaurus and Triceratops and Pterodactyl. Well, this year it is like, what is the chemistry formula for the molecule of radium? What the fuck, y'all? Don't understand that the subject matter that Scotty Barnes is learning this year is a much higher advanced level than last year. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dragon Force level. That's right. Duke saying, that's the sense I get, Nameless. Tremendous faith for a person who's outside the rotation. But is he? Or is he not? Jeff Dowtin is just this dude that can get plugged in and he'll be steady. Trust me, he's going to be steady. He's a steady dude. Mike saying, through the fire and flames, Dragon Force was like finger torture. Not gonna lie, Guitar Hero 3 people understand. Listen, I understand just because I know Dragon Force. I never played Guitar Hero, but I do understand the premise of it and how hard it is to hit all those notes and keep up with the time and do all that stuff. And Dragon Force, yeah, I know that band. So I understand exactly without even playing, just because I know that band. Duke Rocks is saying, another popular podcast stated teams are holding out injured players longer than expected. I also noticed, hang on. I also noticed some weird subs in and out during games with teams expected to tank. That's interesting. So there's a little bit of download manipulation on losing just in case. I don't know. All right, hang on. It jumped. I don't know. It seems like teams are trying to win right now, although Casey maybe isn't. I don't know. Monique's saying it's December 12th live show, and yes, Alex Wong will be there. Okay, so the Raptor show with Chris Boucher will be December 12th live show. If you're a big Chris Boucher fan of the Raptor show with Alex Wong and William Liu, go check out their live show December 12th. The deets will be out there. Mike's saying Duke Rocks facts, hence me thinking the Raps playing the same game and saying maybe Otto was being rested, but I was wrong on that. The devil's advocate take, no doubt, completely got it wrong. Hey, we're not always going to be right with all our predictions. Cool Cat saying, I think Koloko will get games at Raptors 905 when both teams are in town. That's the standard. He is under heavyweight training and practice sessions for sure. I can see the changes in his body. Yeah, maybe more when we have more homestands and they're both here at the same time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they manage it and figure it out. You know, they're playing right now, 9:05. They started a game at 11 o'clock this morning. In fact, maybe we should be watching it right now. They're playing Greensboro, the Charlotte Hornets G League team. They started at 11 a.m. this morning. So maybe I need to finish up and get off here so we can watch this 9:05 game. They're literally playing right now. They started at 11. So crazy. Yeah, there's a 9:05 game on right now, y'all. Duke saying, I think Koloko will get G League minutes, but it has to coincide with Raps and 9:05 home games. Yeah, it's pretty much what Cool Cat's saying right there. Who knows? Maybe Koloko's playing in the 9:05 game right now as we speak. I don't know. Somebody needs to go check on that game and tell us what's going on there. I just said the new format is nicer with longer questions and other things. He said, thanks. The comment got like 10 likes before he even replied. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. So you just said a nice compliment and Serge said thank you to them. That's a great thing about social media and different things like this is we can interact with these people. It's so crazy. I wrote a message to Lex Luger, the wrestler, and he replied to me and I was like, what the fuck? I'm talking to Lex Luger? Holy crap. I couldn't believe it. It's awesome. I talked to like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and like $1 Million Man and Coco Beware. I'm talking to all these wrestlers. It's crazy. Just because they're online and they're there and I can talk to them and they do reply. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But yeah, that's awesome that you got a response from Serge. And it's weird that he's like in Toronto media stuff all of a sudden. You're a buck, bro. You're a buck. What are you doing? Monique saying Chris Boucher's off the dribble game is proof that the Casey C word is ending. Yeah, I hate that word. I hate it so much. Can we just ban that word from Raptors sports world? That C word just does not exist. There's no Osmos C word. There's no what was it? The old commercials that we used to have that we always said that there was. I don't even remember the campaign. I blocked it out so well. It was like the little ballers with Jonas. They had different person every year, and there was a C word with that. If you were that person each year. So they made Muggsy that person one year because he doesn't play anymore. But Norman had it. Oh, it was the GoDaddy. GoDaddy. That's right. It was GoDaddy. All right, let's see. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey. Good morning, fam. Just checking in. And the first comment I see is from that Savage dude who keeps trolling the Raptors YouTube account. Yeah, Savage is in here. Whatever. You know, in some ways, it's good to have Savage here just so I can fucking you know, it's a little bit of entertainment. It's what Raymond Jacobs tuning in for. So yeah, Savage, you go on, be savage. We'll talk to you. I don't mind talking to you. You're not that bad. Duke saying, yeah, logical Raptors fanatic ain't tanking. Yeah, logical. Raps ain't tanking. However, if the season doesn't go the way the brass expects us to go, we could change direction quick, but that would have to be a serious disaster for us to do that. You know, honestly, the things that are happening to us are already a disaster, and I don't think it could get any worse than this. Honestly, I hope not. Knock on wood. No, I don't think there's any realistic outcome that could say, oh, the Raptors need to tank for Victor. I'm sorry. We just don't do that. That's the other word that I want to outlaw too, is the C word and the T word. Tanking. Tank should not be a word in the vocabulary of a Raptor fan. We don't do that. We're not Philadelphia. We're not one of these garbage loser teams that instills a losing culture to try and take the cheap way to get some savior through the draft. Fuck that shit. So I say, let's cut out the T word and the C word. They ain't got nothing to do with Raptors culture, and we ain't got nothing to do with them. And I denounce the T word and the C word at this point right now. Yeah, denouncing them right now. Nothing to do with either one of those words. Isaac Campbell saying Dowtin has played on 8 teams in 2 years. If Jeff can get 905 reps, no reason Koloko cannot. Jeff sets game pace with that's his niche. He rewards off-ball movement as a point guard. He rewards hustle. Yeah, I like everything that Jeff's doing. And it's true that he has a more experience because he is like a third-year player. He's not like a second-year player. You know, all right, here's something else I want to say to stand up for Scotty Barnes. One thing that we don't realize about Scotty on this team because of how well he played last year and him being a rookie of the year and all these kind of things is Scotty is actually the youngest person on our team still. Yeah, Koloko's come in, Ron Harper Jr., Jeff Dowtin, all these dudes are older than him. He's still a little baby boy on our team, and that he's only 21. And all the other guys are older than him. Jeff's like 24 or 25. Dalano turned 24 just recently. So it's like, that's the other thing we got to understand is that Scotty is actually the baby boy on the team. He's the youngest person on our whole entire team, even younger than our rookies this year. Ron Harper's older than him, So it's like, that's something you guys could have for fire to fight the other people too, is that he's the youngest person on our team and he's already done so much. And we have to remember how old he is also. That is a big part of what's going on with Scotty also. So yeah, I love that you're saying this stuff about Jeff. It's like, really, he was in a part of their Milwaukee Bucks system for a while. He was in Orlando for a little while, and now he's with us. He's been around. He's seen different teams and different cultures. And I just want him to stick around and have a lot of success with us. Jeff Dowtin Jr., you go. Mike saying, Duke, I wasn't saying in the way of tanking, just fudging the injury report a bit for resting and get more early development burn. Okay. Yeah, I get that. And that's what's happening indirectly right now. Like, look, we just unlocked all these interesting things about our bench guys that we didn't know about in the game last night. And now everybody's anxious to see more of them. And we're not going to be able to please everyone. We're going to get the guys back. And maybe some of these bench guys will not see more time when they come back. But at least we know that we've seen some body work where they can be dependable in this and this and this when they are needed to be coming in. And that's good information and good things to know. So, but somebody's going to be disappointed. People are going to be disappointed. Oh, because these guys come back and Jeff's not going to get to play a lot, or Dalano doesn't get to play as much, even though he did what he did last night. Somebody's going to be disappointed at some point anyway. It's just a matter of how things go. So fans just won't be happy no matter what. They'll have impossible like ideas about how it should be. That's just not realistic. These guys are going to come back. They're going to take their minutes back. They're going to take their production. And some of these bench guys are not going to get a chance. And that's just how it is. It's just the way the NBA is. Fiercely saying, if they looked at the stats, Scotty was way more ahead in most categories. So, yeah, he deserved Rookie of the Year. So many stats, and even stats they don't count, intangible stats. He was way ahead of all of them. I agree with you fiercely. They got the right Rookie of the Year, and it will show more and more. People are going to say, oh, he's down right now. He didn't deserve it. Well, fucking come see him at the end of the year. Let's see how good he is around April or May and see what he does. He did finish way stronger than he started last year. He started, and then like by the end of the season, he was playing way, way better at the end when everybody else was tired. So that could be part of it too. Is this like it's a marathon to Scott? It's not a sprint. He's not trying to just do everything exactly perfect right now. He sees the whole long haul of the whole season. And maybe in April, when everybody else is huffing and puffing and feeling worn down, he is absolutely going crazy and having a good time. Now, one of the things Nick wants him to do is he wants him to find this joy and exuberance and just fun that he carried game to game last season that isn't totally there right now. That Scotty, you got to get back in touch with the roots of your passion for the sport of basketball and just the fun of the NBA schedule and the NBA life, the travel, the training, and the playing of the games, and really get back in touch with that enthusiasm that you have about playing in the NBA, because that really translates to your energy and how you play on the court. If you're happy and you're light and you're just like, I'm playing the NBA, I can't believe I'm living my dream. Don't let that go away. That feeling that you had last year like that, because that could be part of what really buoys you and pushes you up is your absolute passion and joy playing. And that's something that some people have noticed is not totally the same as last year, is that you're not coming into the game with the same kind of enthusiasm in some ways. And I don't know, I think that's something you could get back real easy. It's just you got to recenter yourself to thinking in the way that you did last year, as far as like how you take each game. And you're like, I'm privileged and so lucky to be this skilled and to have this spot and be on this team. And I want to take advantage of this and do my best and be great for. Like last year, you posted every day on Instagram, before the game, you post a picture of yourself and say, be great for. It was almost like you were telling yourself a daily affirmation or a reminder that you need to go out there and be great. Well, where are those posts this year? Maybe it's as simple as something dumb as that you just need to post be great for before the game like you did last year. I don't know. We were trying to figure out how we can get this exuberance and this fun on the court again this year, because there is something a little off, and I don't know what it is exactly. Maybe it is a little bit his ankle. All right, let's keep going. Logical. I know you weren't saying that. I'm just pointing out the fact we tanked in Tampa because Masai didn't want anything to do with being a playing team. Yeah, the end of the season in the Tampa year, why would we want to reward the Tampa people with a play-in game or any playoffs or anything? They didn't fucking deserve it. So tank right out. So we don't even have to mess with the postseason or even stay in Florida any longer. That was very calculated, and that's actually kind of a smart tank. And he did admit that we did tank a little bit at the end of the Tampa season, partly for this reason, and also to get a better position to possibly land somebody like Scott. So yeah, I'll admit, and he admitted himself. Masai said that we kind of tanked a little bit, and I hate that he did that because I don't want anybody investigating that or to think that we do that. In fact, I have said before that Masai Ujiri should not have the word tank in his vocabulary. That is not a word he should ever utter out of his mouth for any reason whatsoever. That he should just act, that should be a banned word in his head, that he just doesn't come out of his mouth. The word tank should not be coming out of his mouth or Bobby Webster's. Mike Sanduke, no doubt, in Tampa too. Did make sense logically at a certain point. Yeah, it's just kind of what I just said. Most saying if OG doesn't make first or second defensive team this year, I swear, oh, she's gonna be mad. She's gonna be going out there and yelling at people. Oh yeah. Leslie is saying Boucher knows who he is and what his role is. Fred, Pascal, OG, Thad, Otto are the same. The rest are searching for their identity. Yeah, that is part of it too, is a maturation as a player and knowing who you are and comfortable in your skin and kind of really discovering everything that's in your wheelhouse and what you can do on the court. There's some confidence in that. And you just named like a list of guys that really are way more comfortable in their skin. And what is it? It's that they've been around long enough and they played long enough and they've gotten there. And OG is just a new addition to this list. It's not that OG was on this list even maybe last year. It's just this year he's added to it. Pascal got added a couple years ago, Fred a couple years ago. And I think this is really true. Boucher said in the interview afterwards that this stretch has very much been like that stretch last year where he had to be the man in Boxing Day against Cleveland, that he's feeling a little bit of those flashbacks where he had to understand more about what Pascal's role is. And it's fun because in some ways last night he did take up some of the slack for Pascal's absence with the scoring and some of the things he was doing. Nameless is saying, you got a good voice, Lex. Thanks, man. I do love to sing karaoke. Like, I'll go to karaoke bars and I'll tear it down, man. I'm crazy. I'll sing anything. I'll try and sing Queen with Freddie Mercury. I'll try and sing some Axl Rose. And that is not always easy because Axl will go real deep and real high. And you got to have some breath too. Like I'll sing Bono too. I can sing those high notes on U2 songs too. So it's like, you don't get me started. I will sing something. And if you put them in there, I do request, Nameless. So if there's a song you think that I can do, I probably can, maybe, or at least try. At least try. All right, let me see. Lex Ritchie is an amazing stage name. You go, boy. Hello. What's another one by him? Let me think of a different one. No, I did Say You, Say Me. Oh man, he has so many. Why am I not remembering all of his songs? Anyway, we'll keep going. Oh, Easy. That's why I'm easy. Easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, high, so high. Mike saying Flynn has been showing more online with my take coming, but there's still a lot of things against him at the moment. Not gonna lie, and the 45 bus is the main thing running him down at the moment. Yeah. Like I said in the past, I think Flynn's just had bad timing of coming to the Raptors when an old idea of what we were going to be is when we drafted him, and we kind of switched Vision 6'9", and he does not fit it completely, and it's not totally his fault. He has had a lot to overcome in his career as an NBA player to get to where he's trying to get to. But at least he's still on that path, and we didn't give up on him. Think about all the different times when people wanted to get rid of Malachi Flynn in the last 3 years, and he's still here, and we're still getting some payoff for him. So this is good. But I do agree that Dalano, Jeff Dowtin, different things about our roster construction are really kind of holding him back and, not giving Eric Flynn exactly what he wants. Cowboys saying, preach on, Lex. Everyone like and subscribe. Let's go, Raptor freaks. Thank you, Bradley. Yes, please like, comment, and subscribe. Evelyn's saying, you made my day, Lex. Thanks. I love to hear that, Evelyn. I hope you're having even better day, more and more of a better day tomorrow, too. Every day, a good day. Keep coming back, Evelyn. We love you. Van Hoot saying, I pointed out that the Raptors need a bench initiator. If Banton can step into that, it would be good. Great showing. Omer Yurt 7 is injured. Okay, this is good pre-news for tomorrow. Yurt 7's out. He didn't play in the first 2 games, so we haven't seen him yet this year. Yeah, this is a good. You said that you thought we needed a bench initiator, and if Banton could step into it, that'd be good. Yeah. Yeah, some of this stuff with Banton, and this is what they're saying in the telecast. If he can hit that 3-pointer consistently like that, that's really going to open up his game and make him way more useful and attractive for Nick Nurse to play a lot more. And I think you're right, and that he could really help us with some of the bench things that we need done because of his skill set and some of the stuff that he showed last night. I love it, Van Hoot. And hopefully he's feeling that thing that you were hoping that we would get. And maybe we can see it more consistently. Once again, though, he has lapses where he shows his youth and just like he messes up, like some of the passes. And so he still does some things with his dribble that are going to get travel calls. And I don't like that. And it is kind of like the refs are changing the rules as we go. And that something that was fine for him to do last season is not okay at this point. So it's really kind of a mind fuck. It's like, oh, I can't carry my dribble like that anymore in that one little move. And you may like instinctually want to do it. And then he may get travel calls just because it was okay before, but now it isn't. He has to retrain himself not to do that particular move. But honestly, after that little bit of time early in the game where I was pissing me off, I was like, don't play Dalano, play Jeff or play Malachi, get Dalano out of there. He turned it around. And by the end of the game, I was like, I can't hate him for that little bit of time in the beginning where he didn't look good because he's looked so much better since. Monique is saying Thaddeus Young passed Andre Miller for 42nd all-time in steals. Wow. That is a big deal considering he's a forward. And Andre Miller played a long time and he's a guard. That is a very big deal. Duke's saying the guitarist from Dragon Force has his own podcast. He did a really cool upload with the Canadian Shredder, forget his name, who also has a cool podcast that makes fun of celebrity guitar players. They're just really super talented. Like, I can't believe how fast they play. And some of the solos are amazing. They're just like, wow. It is really a cool band. It's not for everyone, though. Mike saying, salute to Van Hoot. Lex Luger. Yeah, Lex Luger. I talked to him on Twitter, and he replied to me. It was weird. Cool Cat saying, Raptors 905 leading right now. Saw Harper Jr. swoosh a 3-pointer. Okay, cool. They're already winning right now. Champagny 21, Coloco 22, Banton 22, Precious 23. Yeah, Champagny's just slightly older than Scotty, but they're all older than Scott. Scott is 21. Duke saying the Canadian guitarist's name is Steve Turberry. His uploads are pure comedy. Check out his collaboration with the Dragon Force guitarist. Cool, Duke. Thank you for the recommendation. I probably will. I'll check that out today. Cool Cat saying Dowtin will be a Raptor for sure. He's a great floor manager. I just want him to convert him by the end of the year. He needs to be on our playoff roster for after the season's over because he will do good things for us in the playoffs. Trust me. Patrick Douglas is saying dynasties exist with quality and reserve spots, waiting intelligently for their time. Thad and Otto have timelines. Trick is for the talent to be professional and ready. This is the best NBA franchise. Yes, Patrick Douglas. Sing it on high. I tell you, you just Raptor Freak Tenements. This is the best NBA franchise because the way it's run. We got Masai Ujiri. We got Nick Nurse. We are the best team in the league. I really believe that. Cowboys saying true, Cool Cat. Yeah, and it is true that we got to wait for their spots. And like, listen, this thing about Thaddeus's journey this season so far. He didn't play in the first couple games, and Josh Lewenberg had a fit. What's going on with that? Why isn't Thad getting played? Why is he a DMP? What's going on, Nick Nurse? Well, things opened up, and now we're really having to rely on him. And now he started a couple games in a row. So things are, it really is like we need him when we need him. And if he doesn't play certain games, do you think Wancho's upset that he didn't play a bunch of games already this season? No, he shows up when we need him, and he's ready, like we've seen last night. Same thing with Thad, same thing with Otto, same thing with any of our guys. They're not the coach. The coach knows who should be playing that night and who shouldn't. And on some of those nights, those guys are going to get DMPs. And that's just the way it is. If Thaddeus gets DMPs at some section of the season coming up soon, know that that's the reason it should be that way. That's just Nick wants to go in another direction at that time. And we have the luxury, okay, Thad's still around. We can bring him in and use him when guys are hurt and we need him then. So it really is be ready when is necessary and not expect or want any kind of specific time or anything. Just be ready because at any time it can happen and we might need you out there. Mike saying Boucher has been great, been so great. He's looked so good, Mike. He's like at a weird new level. Like last night was different because he was being a scorer like Kevin Durant would be. I was like, I know, Chris, you wanted to be like Kevin Durant. Well, you were kind of being like Kevin Durant last night with your mid range, your stop and pop and like putting the ball on the floor. Even we're bringing the ball up the court sometimes, and I hate that. I don't like you being the ball handler, bringing the ball up the court because you are susceptible to getting it stolen from you. But you did it a few times last night. It was fine. Cool Cat saying Scotty's happy expressions will be back when Pascal is back. Pascal's kinetic energy and smiles make all the guys happy. Right now, Scotty and the others feeling the responsibility of winning. Yes. And it's weird too because these guys have been hurt. They're not on the bench. They're not with them. They're here in Toronto, hopefully getting rehab or feeling better. Maybe Fred's been in Rockford trying to get better from not being sick. But yeah, Fred, Pascal, and Precious not at the game actually physically there. But it was really cool to see Precious celebrating Dalano last night on his Instagram. In fact, Precious not being at the game and being hurt is kind of sad, but he watched the game, obviously. He really enjoyed watching his teammates win, and he was specifically celebrating his friend Dalano for a big game last night on Instagram. You go, Precious, being a good teammate in absentia because you weren't actually there. But Gary was there sitting on the bench at least because he was already traveling with the team. These other guys got hurt, and they're like, why don't we just take you back to Toronto and Dr. McKechnie or somebody can help you and you can just get comfortable and get rest and be at home and not be on the road. That's probably a lot of what the thinking was. Monique saying, I'm watching you and 905, multitasking in full effect. Awesome, Monique. Well, I want to finish up because I want to watch this game too. Let's see. Isaac saying, let's all flood Scotty Barnes' YouTube channel with positive comments. Yes, Isaac, that's a great way of doing it. There's going to be a lot of troll and negativity kind of activity out there. Let's counterbalance it with love and positivity in the other way for sure. And he will recognize, and hopefully you'll see some of the Twitch family names in there like Cool Cat and Isaac Campbell, Shane Waters, Tommy Dookie, and myself. And we'll just get out there and we'll be stands for Scotty in the places that matter. Mike saying, big facts, Lex. He's moving a little too fast at times and attacking without a plan. You're talking about Dalano? Yeah, maybe. And Duke Rock's saying, okay, Steve Perry, Journey, separate ways. It took a tough karaoke tune. Lionel Richie with the Commodores has some cool tunes still. 3 times a lady. You're once, twice, 3 times a lady. Now, Steve Perry, that is a real tough one. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know if I'll be tomorrow. Maybe some dogs yelling down the street right now. Oh, my gosh. I've got my voice going on the wheel in the sky. Wow. All right, Monique. Great stream. I appreciate that. W's only. W's for Raptors Freak channel, Raptors Freaks in attendance, and the Raptors themselves with a great victory over the Pistons last night. I love it. Let's see. Once again, the Pistons had Jaden Ivey be their leading scorer with 21. We saw a little bit of Bagley, the third, Bogdanovich, and Burks also. Burks showed up. He was healthy, and he did a little bit of dangerous things to us off the bench because he is a real big-time scorer, and he is one of the few vets on that team. But it was interesting. He was involved with Juancho at one point during the game, and they were old teammates at Utah. So that was an interesting little bit of the part at the end of the game with Juancho guarding Burks. And then on our side, fantastic job by Thaddeus. I really like his high post passing. I want to see more of that because I really think he helps our offense when it stagnates and it doesn't look real smooth, that he is out there being a passing option because he finds stuff and he finds people. Really smart. Too bad Otto got hurt. Didn't like seeing that. Hopefully he'll be ready for Wednesday. Anunoby, very strong game with another very awesome dunk in the middle of the game. Just a good job by OG. Scotty Barnes on the down low, very good game, but nobody wants to admit it. Everybody's going to say he was awful. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I think he was fine. Dalano, fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic. 27 points, 9 of 16 shooting, 6 for 6 at the free throw line. I love that the most because Dalano last year was like a 50% free throw shooter. Well, now he's making 6 of 6, and he's being the guy to win the game with 3 steals, 2 blocks, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Fantastic, Dalano. Chris Boucher absolutely could not miss in the middle of the game, 20 points. Hernan Gomez, fantastic to see him out there doing stuff. He had our highest plus minus on the team, guys. He was a plus 11 with 9 points and 6 rebounds and 3 assists. That's a great stat line for Juancho. Coloco, very solid in 17 minutes. Didn't miss anything he shot. 8 points. Birch, solid in 4 minutes. He got a little 1 point basket, and he looked like what he does. He clogs the lane. He's a defensive presence. He does good things for us when he's out there. Malachi, fantastic. Jeff Dowtin Jr., fantastic. Just a good all-around team effort by the Raptors to make sure we ended Casey's revenge. And, well, hopefully we can just sweep them this year, and then it'll really put that to dead. Thank you, Raptor fans, for showing up and jumping the border and making such a good showing for us and making us have home court be in Detroit's arena. I love that so much. In fact, y'all in some ways are the MVP of last night. That, listen, not every fan base, listen, this is something to give it some kudos to Raptors fans. We just lost 2 humiliating games. Our team, in some ways, our fan base is really down and low. Well, the real ones still crossed the border and made the effort to go to the opposing team's arena and take it over. That in some teams, the lackadaisical or badness of the team in that present moment would not motivate the fans to be passionate enough to do this. And that I commend, and I'm so proud of Raptors Nation, that is who we are at this point in our franchise's history. That we could be on a slide and look really bad and have all kinds of horrible things happening on social media, but still real ones go across the border and show up and take over Little Caesars Arena. So kudos to the fans that made it happen. I appreciate y'all. Cool Cat saying we have 3 short point guards and 3 tall point guards. Great point guard depth. Yes. I sent Scotty's Instagram messages of encouragement after each game. Hopefully he reads it. Yeah, I don't know if he's really doing a whole lot on Instagram at this point. He did say he was kind of abandoning that social media platform for a bit, but he does put stuff up every once in a while and stuff like that. But yeah, everybody continue to send him words of encouragement on his YouTube channel and at his Instagram and just in general on Facebook and Twitter. Fight the good fight. And use some of the talking points that I've used today. Like maybe if he'd gone to 905, who knows what would have happened. Remember, he is the youngest player on the Raptors team. And in some ways that is a part of the factoring in what's happening with Scotty. Evelyn saying, oh my God, it's snowing. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but inside it's so delightful. But the people, they want to know. Well, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Evelyn, let it snow. Just for you. Yes, it's going to snow just for you, Evelyn. It is really fucking snowing. Holy shit, it is. It really is snowing. All right, I'm off here. Let's go watch the 905, y'all. Have a great day. Be proud, Raptors Nation. Be proud, Raptor Freak Cult. I appreciate y'all. And I like, comment, subscribe, share. I really thank you for joining me for this joyous day. A recap of our win over the Detroit Pistons. That's right. It sounds so good to say that, doesn't it? We beat the Detroit Pistons last night. Fight the Good Fight by Triumph is a good song. That's a Canadian band, Triumph. And I know that song. I'd have to hear the tune and maybe mimic it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. So I can't really do it right now. But yeah, anytime a song request, I'll do a song. If you guys need a song, I will play a song. Walking in a winter wonderland. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Tomorrow, previewing the Miami game. Let's go, Raptors.